with Steve Stone, Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. Here are the lineups for the Pirates. Bonds in left, leaned at second. Van Slyke in center. Phenia at third. Breen at first. Reynolds in right. Lavalier, the catcher. Belliard, the shortstop. Palacios. I'm going to call him Vicente, is the pitcher. And for the Cubs, it is Martinez in center. Sandberg at second. Dawson in right. Durham at first. Mumphrey in left. Law at third. Dunston, the shortstop. Sandberg, the catcher. And Calvin Schiraldi, the pitcher. The umpires are behind the plate, Frank Pulley. Jerry Crawford at first. Bob Davidson at second. And Doug Harvey at third. A beautiful day for baseball. 64 degrees, but the wind blowing out 30 miles an hour. Whoever hits most balls in the air is going to win this one.
There you take a look at Calvin Schiraldi. In spring training, he was 1-1 with a 4.13 ERA. He came on late and threw the ball pretty well. First time out, had a bit of a rough outing. And he's going out there today as a member of the Cubs. Now, he has faced Pittsburgh before as a member of the New York Mets. He was 0-1 with a 4.76 ERA. And there you look at how they'll line up defensively behind him. Jerry Mumphrey getting a shot in left field today. Andre Dawson hobbled a little bit by a sore groin in right field, so I don't know how quick he's going to be on fly balls in the gap. But a lot of fly balls will leave the ballpark today, so you're going to have to keep the ball down.
Here's Barry Bonds, and he was going for a long one right off the first swing. 1 strike and nothing. Vicente Palacios, 24-year-old right-hander pitching for the Pirates. There you're looking at Calvin Schiraldi for the Cubs. High fastball. Boy, it looks like he's working up the ladder with them.
That's where you should go with Bonds. He loves high fastballs. As you can see, Bonds hit in every Pirate game coming into this series, but he's 0 for 8 in this one. You don't want to get careless. If he throws a high fastball, he wants it up out of the strike zone.
The pitch. High pop foul out of play. Get well wishes to Bobby Langer, whose dad is the fine Tribune photographer, Bob Langer. Bobby's recuperating from a broken ankle. He was quite a ball player, an all-state candidate at shortstop for the Carmel High School baseball team. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury. So, Bobby, hurry up and get well. 0-2 the count.
Calvin, originally selected by the Chicago White Sox in the 1980 draft, didn't sign. Then when he was selected by the Mets in '83, he did sign.
He struck him out. He changed speeds on him. Good pitch by Schiraldi. And Bobby Bonds is hitless in this series. 0 for 9.
Good breaking ball, catches the outside corner. Frank Pulley ringing him up.
Punching him out is Jose Leaned.
Got to play leaned around toward right field. He likes to hit the ball right down the line.
Starting him off with a low curve for ball 1. Fouled it out of play. What is the wind blowing into the camera, Arnie? Bruce Mosell's the cameraman on our center field camera. The wind really blowing, shaking the camera to and fro. It's blowing at 30 miles an hour. 2 balls and a strike. Fouled it out of play, and he's 2-2.
Schiraldi throwing the ball very hard this afternoon. And his change of speed will even be more effective because you have a lot of guys thinking fly ball today. All you have to do is get one up in the wind.
Now the pitch. High pop foul. They've been hitting a lot in the air, but they've all been foul balls, fortunately. I was sorry to hear the death of a good friend, Art Altvader, in St. Louis. Art was a great fellow. Fouled it back. Joe Keitel, the Midwest Regional Sales Manager for Canon, just got a letter from him. He was on hand opening day. We get it on Sunday. Now the pitch. He fouled it back. But it was dated the 14th. The opening day was 15th. I don't care how much stamps cost. You got to figure more than one day to deliver the mail. Now the pitch. Fouled it out of play. Well, Joe is here with Joe Haverstock, an old college friend from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We appreciate the pictures anyway, Joe. Ball 3.
Cubs would seem to have the advantage on a day that everybody seems to associate with a typical Wrigley Field day. The wind howling out over the center field scoreboard, and the Cubs have a few more long ball hitters than the Pirates.
He walked him, ball 4. That puts him on. Hey, Arnie, if you'll send somebody up, we got a feast here from Sam and High's Deli in Skokie. We're busy here. We can't eat, but I know you live the life of Riley down in that truck. What would you have?
Got some corned beef, some turkey, some roast beef, Arnie.
A lot of pickles. One out, one on. Van Slyke, who's been tough, takes the pitch outside. Van Slyke is 3 out of 7 in the series.
A lot of managers don't like to run a lot on a very windy day here in Chicago because you might run yourself out of an inning. A few managers will sit back and wait for the long ball.
Quick throw to first. Hey, did I read right this morning? You once won the first 5 games here at this when you were a member of the Cubs?
1975 was 5-0.
What happened?
Pinched a nerve in my hip and had a big confrontation with Andy Messerschmidt out in Los Angeles. Both of us were 5-0. And trying to compensate for my hip, I hurt my shoulder and spent a couple starts on the shelf, as it were. Wound up 12-8 for the year.
Well, that's not bad. That's one of your better records.
Not a bad year, I know. 75 Cubs weren't to be confused with the 27 Yankees.
Or what year did you win the 25 and lose 7 for Baltimore?
Well, that was 1980, but we won 100 games that year. We had a pretty strong ball club.
Whatever happened, Baltimore lost his 11th in a row, and they're losing again today. The pitch. Strike call. Calvin Schiraldi on the hill. 1 ball, 1 strike. A real long ball hit her up there with the wind blowing out. Pitch is outside. Look at that Budweiser beer can on the house stop. They're having all kinds of trouble in the wind. Spud McKenzie is down in right center from the wind. There goes the runner. There's the peg. He is out on a good throw. Boy, I thought he was in there safe. I think, let's see what the picture shows.
Bob Davidson on the call. This is the first time this year they've thrown out Jose Lean. And here's the tag. Oh, Cubs might have got a break because he tagged him high on the shoulder, and the hand looked like it might have got in there, but the Cubs will take it. A 3-1 count. This is the pitch that Andy Van Slyke is going to try to lift out of the ballpark.
That's the only thing about trying to steal with a big hitter at the plate. 3-1 now. Strike 2. Here's from another angle. Watch it.
He gets a good jump, but a very good throw by Jim Sundberg. Now watch it again. Tough to tell from that angle.
3 balls, 2 strikes. He swings and he fouls it back. Here it is again.
This is the angle that we can tell. The out goes 2-6. And there's Lean.
Watch that hand. Safe? I thought so. We'll take it. There's a drive, and that might be out of here. It could be. It is a home run. Andy Van Slyke, his first homer of the year. And the Pirates are out in front, 1-0.
There's no doubt on a day like this, Harry, you gamble when you run. That's what we were talking about. So instead of 2-0, it is only 1-0. Andy didn't hit that ball very hard. It was a fastball out away from him, but he got it up in the jet stream, and it flew out over the head of Dave Martinez. The pitch is down, but Andy Van Slyke hits his first home run of the year, his 5th RBI, and the Pirates are on top.
Here's Bobby Bonilla hitting .325 with 3 homers, 8 RBIs. The pitch. There's a looping liner in the right field, a base hit. Bonilla singles to right. This is a good ball club. I tell you, you almost have to have a left-hander to equalize. Bonds, Van Slyke, and Bream, and Reynolds. Bonilla's the switch hitter. And LaBayer. Here is Bream. He had 3 out of 4 yesterday. Bobby Bonilla, good base runner. Good strike. Watch how Frank Pulley uses his right hand like a straight right cross to call a strike. A ball and a strike. Well, I don't know how many you picked in the pool for how many home runs. My guess is 6. There's 1 already.
I'll go 1 on top of you, Harry. I'll say there'll be 7 today.
Pitch is high.
And I'm hoping that the Cubs have about 5 of those.
Palacios pitches very good. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball in there. 2-2.
It's a day when you have to disregard the flags if you're on the mound, and that certainly is difficult to do, but you got to throw your changeup equally as much as you normally would. You get guys sitting on that fastball, they can hurt you. So he set up Sid Bream with some fastballs away. Let's see if he can drop that curveball over the outside corner, much like he did to Barry Bonds to lead off the game.
2-2 pitch. Ball 3 through the curve but high, and the count is 3-2. Palacios came in against the Phillies the other day with the bases loaded, nobody out, and got out of the jam. Fouled it back. Again, Bonilla was running. But with 3-2, it's the automatic hit and run. Jerry Mumphrey in left field. Jim Sundberg catching.
I think there's any way Chuck Tanner and Frank Robinson can get their 2 ball clubs together and somehow get a win.
Here's a pitch, ball 4. I bet both are wishing they were in the same league and playing each other. That way, somebody would have to win.
Boy, there's nothing more frustrating. The Orioles went 11 innings the other night, still lost 1-0, and everything Chuck Tanner seems to be doing is working out poorly. Unfortunately, he's playing a red-hot Dodger ball club also. He's run into Orel Hershiser a few times, and that's never a good sign.
Well, the Braves set a new National League record, losing their 10th in a row. The Orioles lost their 11th. Here now, R.J. Reynolds. He hit the 3-run homer that really won the ball game for the Pirates yesterday. They were in front 1-0. But he came up and hit a 3-run homer. He's a good fastball hitter. Runners at first and second. A high pop fly. Now watch the wind. Mumphrey coming in. No, they let the ball drop. Another run score. What in the world? Somebody should catch that ball. And it's 2-0 Pirates.
Don't forget Jerry Mumphrey, not used to left field. And he didn't get much of a break on this ball. Dunston going out, but the wind is taking the ball away from Dunston. He's got no shot. Left fielder's got to make this play, but Jerry, getting his first look in left field, is going to have some difficulty today. And now Don Zimmer coming out to talk with Calvin Schiraldi, trying to settle him down. He should be out of this inning right now, but instead he's got runners at the corners and a man who hits very well with runners in scoring position, Mike LaValliere.
2-0 Pittsburgh. That ball is a high pop fly. The infield went to the wind went to work on it, carried it out in the short left. But you'd think the left fielder coming into the play would make the catch. Here's LaValliere. Runners first and third. The curve is high. 2-0 Pittsburgh.
It's a young season yet, but LaValliere is 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. He's a contact hitter. That makes him tough in these situations.
Good fastball. Strike call. I tell you, Schiraldi's looked much better than the results of the inning would show. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball high. One thing about it, folks, the wind is blowing the same for both teams, so you can't use it as an alibi.
You don't think 2 runs is going to win this one, huh?
No, I think Arnie said he thought 19 runs would win the game. Ball 3.
I think the thing that hurts is not so much the long ball in this ballpark when the wind blows out, because Fergie Jenkins gave up a whole lot of long balls here, but he didn't walk anybody, and that's one of the things you have to look at. Try to throw some strikes, as difficult as it might seem.
A high pop fly. It should be caught. Dawson under the wind makes the play. LaValliere flied to Dawson. 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 men left, no errors. They go in the bottom of the first, 2-0 Pittsburgh.
It's the most significant discovery of Egyptian treasure since the opening of King Tut's tomb. See it on live TV. Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Harry Caray back in the ballpark. You're looking at Vicente Palacios, 24 years old, 6'2", from Manaloma, Mexico.
And back on September 8th of last year, he got his first major league start, going 8 innings, defeating the Cubs here in Wrigley Field. He beat them 4-1. Gave up only 6 hits and 1 earned run. He's had 2 relief appearances so far this year. Thrown against Philadelphia in both of them, and he threw well. 2 innings the first time out, 3 innings the next time out. Gave up a hit in each, but no runs. That's how they'll line up defensively behind Palacios. He doesn't throw particularly hard, but he can get it up there in the upper 80s. He's got a good slider. He's got a pitch that looks like a knuckle curveball. It's right in the middle of a split finger fastball and a knuckle curve. It's actually like a changeup for him, but it does go down. And Ray Miller said at its best, it'll act like a screwball away from a left-hand hitter. So he has a wide assortment. Here's a man who was in Veracruz, was purchased by the Chicago White Sox and released. Sid Thrift signed him for nothing. Let him go to Milwaukee, got him back for $25,000, and now he's a starter on their ball club.
Now the pitch. A little bit inside, a slow curve. It's Cubs Magnet Schedule Day at Wrigley Field. The pitch. Line drive, base hit. Martinez opens the ball game with a hit in the center field. That's the way to start. Here's Ryne Sandberg. He's had 1 out of 4 in each game. The first 25,000 adults through the gates today received a Cubs Magnet Schedule compliments of Oxidol. And throwing out the pitch today, the ceremonial first pitch was Mark Leeson for Procter & Gamble, makers of Oxidol. Here's Sandberg. Curve, a high curve. Got away with a pitch that time.
He doesn't want to keep it up there, or Rhino's going to hit home run number 3. Palacios is 6'3", only 175 pounds. He's going to be 25 years old in the middle of July, so just another youngster on the Pirates staff.
The throw to first, the runner back. That's the gentleman I just mentioned from Occidental throwing out the first pitch. 0-1. He fouled it back and out of play. 0-2, Andre Dawson next.
Pirate team has been red hot. They're off to their best start since 1980. They were 8-3 after 11 games in 1980. They won 5 of their last 6. Only the shutout by Rick Sutcliffe has stopped them from putting together a long streak.
Throw over the first, roundabout. Boston, after losing 3-2 and 2-0 to Texas in the first 2 games of the series, are leading Texas 10-0 at the end of 2.5 innings today. Fouled it back to the screen. Andre Dawson waiting on deck with 3 home runs to his credit. Davey Martinez open with a single to center. Oh, and 2. Step back off the rubber.
Pirates are second in the league in pitching behind Los Angeles, 2.47 ERA, but you're going to see that go up a bit today.
0-2 the pitch. Palacios steps back off the rubber again. Taking his time. He's in no hurry. Crowd about 30,000 again. If it is, it'll mark the 3rd straight day 30,000 or better. Double play ball to short, out to second and out to first. Sandberg hit a perfect double play ball to Belliard, 6-4-3.
No doubt about this one. It's hit hard, but it's hit right at Rafael Belliard. The return throw to Jose Lean, and then a good play by Sid Bream on the back end of it. Good toss, and Lean just doesn't get a lot into the throw. Bream digs it out of the dirt, and he holds it up for umpire Jerry Crawford to see.
2 men out, nobody on. Andre Dawson, 2 out of 7 in the series, hitting .364. Curve outside. He's had 3 homers, 4 RBIs. Durham next. Line drive in a left field for a hit. Dawson lines a single to left. Well, you can see the double play. That's the only thing that the Cubs didn't want.
Well, I talked with John Fierro before the game, and he's the Cubs trainer. I asked him about the condition of Andre Dawson. He said, well, he's bothered a little bit, not 100%. He said, but he's just so tough. He doesn't complain much. He just goes out there and does his job. He's probably not going to be able to run quite as fast today, but you can't get him out of the lineup. He wants to play every day. And those are encouraging words for any manager when he knows he can write the name of Andre Dawson in his lineup and be assured that he's going to answer the bell.
Here now is Durham. Strike, a good fastball. Palacios on the hill. 0-1 the count. Jerry Mumphrey next. Low change of pace curve outside. Pittsburgh out in front 2-0. We're in the first inning. The wind is blowing out.
Pittsburgh has an off day tomorrow, and then they go home, which is probably why Vicente Palacios is going into the baseball version of the four-corner offense on the mound. He's taking a lot of time.
Ball 2 is low. 2 balls and a strike. Durham, the hitter, batting .323 for the year. 3 homers and 6 runs batted in. High, ball 3.
Well, Harry, I'll tell you what, it'll be a 2-2 game if he can get one out away from Leon where he can extend his arms. He's looking one thing right here, fastball out over the plate, and he knows as strong as he is, any fly ball ties it up. Let's see if the youngster decides to miss a little bit with that fastball.
Jerry Mumphrey on deck, 2 out. Swung and he missed.
Gave him a changeup.
And he was way out in front on it.
Right up in the eyes of Leon, and he pulled the string and he fooled him. Not a good location, but a good choice of pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes. That's what that Ray Miller, is the pitching coach of the Pirates, is responsible for. 3-2. A runner will be going. There he goes. Here it is. A high pop foul. The wind might bring him back in play. LaValliere going forward, can't reach it.
I think with the heavy wind today, all the fielders are going to have to realize that they're going to have to go back on everything, even if it looks like it's going to be halfway up the stands. Because the wind is howling straight out. That'll push a lot of pop-ups back toward the field. And LaValliere comes over.
That's Mumphrey.
And has 22. A shot at this one, but it's just out of reach. Good effort.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Leon going for the game tire right here. There goes Andre. The pitch. Fouled it back again. 3-2. I see the Phillies have lost their last 6 in a row. They lost to the Expos 2-1 last night. Greg Nettles with 2 out in the 8th inning. Philadelphia leading 1-0. Pinch hit a home run to tie it up. High pop foul again.
That was a good bit of hitting by Leon because he was fooled by that pitch. Another changeup, and he just fouled it back. Jim Leland before the ball game musing about the abilities of the Chicago Cubs, and he said he really likes this team. He feels that the youngsters have progressed to the point where they can be very productive, and the veterans aren't too old to be able to contribute. He said they've got a good, solid offensive team, and with a little pitching, they're going to be right there.
3 balls, 2 strikes. There it comes. Ground ball foul outside first. When Greg Nettles pinch hit the home run that tied up the game for the Expos last night, they later won it 2-1. It marked the 390th home run of his career, moving him ahead of Johnny Bench into 23rd place on the all-time list. Three balls, 2 strikes. Line but fouled in the right field corner. And Durham is having a long time at bat.
And Palacios, who has about 5 different pitches, has shown them all to Leon Durham in his first at bat. So far the Bull has spoiled everything, but he seems to be zeroing in on Vicente.
Andre Dawson, I don't know if that does his groin injury any good. He started running on every one of these foul balls. 3 balls, 2 strikes again. There goes Dawson. The pitch. Ball 4. And that brings up Jerry Mumphrey. And if he gets hold of one, the Cubs will be out in front 3-2.
That was a good at bat for Leon. He just battled and battled, and finally he won the battle. That was that split finger knuckle forkball that Palacios throws, and he threw it right into the dirt.
Boy, that double play really kept the Cubs from having a good inning. Well, it might still be a good inning before it's over. Two men out. Van Slyke is next. Palacios gets set. Base hit, right field. Here's a runner around third base. Here's a throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-1 ball game. Jerry Mumphrey lined to single to right, scoring Dawson.
Some things remain constant, and one of them is Jerry Mumphrey can flat out hit from the left side. There is no doubt about that. First pitch fastball, Andre Dawson, knowing that R.J. Reynolds does not have a good gun, is extending himself but not really pouring it on. He sees the throw cut off by Sid Bream. That's RBI number 1 for Mumphrey. And now Ray Miller coming out to talk with his youngster, who's fallen into a jam here in the first inning.
Van Slyke will be trying to get the ball up in the air. And with one swing, the Cubs could be into the lead. Martinez started with a base hit, but Sandberg hit a low line shot on one hop. The Belliard turned into a double play. Then Dawson singled. Then Durham walked. Then Mumphrey singled. He has retired only one man out of the first 5 he faced, but he got 2 out from the one man he retired. That's why they say the old DP is a pitcher's best friend. Here's Law now. He had a cut at the curveball. 0-1, 2-1 in favor of the Pirates. Ball game in the bottom of the first. Durham, the tying run at second. That evens it up. A ball and a strike.
You know the wind is on the mind of the pitcher, but Van Slyke said before the game that's also on the mind of the hitter, and you can't try to consciously alter your stroke. Because before you know it, you try to take that pitch high and away and pull it, and that's the ball you ground to shortstop. So if it's inside, belt high, that's a pitch you can turn on.
Pickoff play at second base. Whoa, boy. And Durham just barely got back.
Good quick move between Jose Lind and Vicente Palacios. Watch the tag. The hand just back in. Bob Davidson on the call. That was good timing between the second baseman and the pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike. Van Slyke, who's hitting every game played by the Cubs this year. Wide, ball 2. Sean Dunston on deck. Durham at second, Mumphrey at first. A high pop fly, that'll be easy. And Bream's under the ball, and he makes the catch. Well, the Cubs get only 1 run. They had 3 hits, no errors, they left 2. At the end of 1, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Harry Caray at the ballpark. Rafi Belliard, the shortstop, leading it off. He's 0 for 8 in this series. But he's played a brilliant shortstop. Strike call.
Just want to know, Harry, if you got your taxes all done, everything was okay?
Very funny.
Did you take me as a dependent?
I should. There's a curveball outside. Yeah, next time I talk to the president, I'm going to tell him I don't like it. You got that right, Arnie. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2, a fastball. Schiraldi's another one of these guys who, when he gets his fastball low, it looks so much quicker than when it's high.
He's got a dandy of a fastball. It's timed at upwards of 93, 94 miles an hour. If he can mix in a few breaking pitches, there's no doubt he's going to have a good year.
There's a breaking pitch, a high pop fly. Dunston under the ball. And he makes a catch. Let's pause here for station identification.
This is WGN Television, Channel 9 in Chicago.
Vicente Palacios, the pitcher up there. Fastball is high.
Well, the wind is really starting to howl. You can just hear it rattling around the ballpark.
There is a strike call. Let's get a look at our Bruce Mazzell out in center field. High pop foul out of play. Look at that. Look at that. He's trying to hold the camera, which just keeps swaying in the breeze.
Got to have muscular cameramen. That's part of the job.
Instead of, why don't you leave the comfort of your truck, Arnie, and go out and help him? 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 man out. Palacios, the hitter. Bouncing ball. Nice play by Sandberg. Nice backhanded pickup. Follow with a perfect throw. Two gone.
Ryne has got such good hands over the middle. Schiraldi looks back. Somebody going to be in front of that one? Yep. Sandberg is right there. Backhands it. After that, it's easy. The off-balance throw gets him by plenty.
That's what you call effortless grace. Here's Barry Bonds. Be careful. This fella's 0 for 9 in the series. He's a long ball hitter. There's a fly ball, deep center, going back. Martinez off the wall. That would ordinarily. Here's Bonds trying for third. The throw. No play. Barry Bonds tripled off the center field wall.
No doubt about that. He roped the ball over the head of Martinez, and then Dave just turned around thinking he could get a bounce off the wall. But it hit right at the base of the wall and stuck there. Now Bonds looks like he's going to take a double for granted. But when he sees that the ball doesn't come out to Martinez and he has to go in and get it, Bonds accelerates around second base and he's off to the races. Just like his dad, who could go from first to third with anybody in the game. Barry Bonds, his second triple of the year.
Here now is Jose Lean. Strike call. 2 men out. The Pirates leading 2-1. Have a runner at third with 2 out. Ground ball. Sandberg out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. We go in the bottom of the second. Pirates lead 2-1.
Play the lottery's new Triple Crown sweepstakes. You could ride away with $5 million.
Sean Dunston leading it off. 2-1 Pittsburgh. We're in the second inning. High fastball.
Sid Thrift and Jim Leland both agree that Sean Dunston looks like he's finally coming into his own, but You don't want to make too much a deal about that high inside fastball. Sean Dunston obviously letting the pitcher know that that upsets him. If you do that and it gets around the league that upsets you, you're going to see a lot of high tight fastballs.
Ball too high. Bob May, Chris Stein, Bevan, Steve Lucky of Manhattan, Montana flew in for the series. Two and nothing to count. Ball three. They hear from the Highland and Joliet. Rick, Chad, Tom, Angelo, Gary, and Tammy. 3 balls, no strikes. He walked him. That's a second base on ball. Off of Palacios.
And my good friend and a big Cub fan, Ron Cohn, here with his son Brad for the game. Having a nice weekend in Chicago. And
Lyle Harris, Arnie's boy, is up here from Jacksonville, Florida with a big group of fans. Let's show him. Where's... Okay. Here's Jim Sundberg. And Dunston trying to jockey around for position on first base. Trying to bother Palacios. There's the throw. He's back.
Rich Donnelly is a coach with the Pirates, and his daughter Amy watches in Arlington, Texas. She's celebrating her 14th birthday today, so Rich wants to send along best wishes and a birthday greeting.
The pitch. Instead, he backs off the rubber. The Dodge physics class from Dodge, Nebraska is watching the game. Boy, this Palacios really works slowly.
I think he thinks if he takes his time, the wind will die down.
Strike called. That evens it up, a ball on the strike.
I know there's one thing that Ray Miller does not like, and that's a pitcher who takes a lot of time. He came to me back in my Baltimore days and says, speed it up. The infielders are falling asleep behind you. And I'm sure he's going to have the same conversation with young Mr. Palacios.
Dunston the lead. Whoa, the ball. Oh, ball. Yes, sir. I picked that one up myself. And now the tying runs at second base.
Take another look at it. There's the set. No hesitation on the part of Palacios. And once again, we see another balk. And that takes the Cubs out of a double play situation.
Bill Snyder from Anchorage, Alaska is here today with friends from Marion, Indiana. All right, here's Sundberg now with a chance to tie it up. Whoa, boy, he blew the fastball by him. Man, Dunston really had a big lead. I thought sure he was going to try to steal third.
There's a little piece of paper floating around in the infield, and Bob Davidson's coming over to do a little house cleaning. And Dunston certainly can take a gamble. You don't like to see this with 8 and 9 coming up, but Dunston would be very easily safe at third if nobody pays any attention to him at second. He was halfway down the line last time. Be careful.
There they go. They're going to try to pick him off. And he dove for the bag and made it. Boy, he had another wide lead. 0-2 the count. Birthday greetings to Joey DiGiovanni. Oh, 2 the count. Dunston can take that long lead because the shortstop and second baseman allow it. There he goes! He's oh, gee, that's a shame. But the batter had a swing. He's already got a count of 0-2 on him. Dunston had the bag stolen.
No question about it. He was 3/4 of the way down the line before the ball got to home plate. But with an 0-2 count, Jim Sundberg had to foul off the pitch. And Dunston will have to go back to second.
2 strikes and nothing. Again, he's got a long lead. Now Lean moving in closer. High outside. New Cub fan and Bud man, born on March 17, Jason Ian Wisnitzer. What would that look like backwards?
Probably Wisnitzer.
There he goes, trying to steal. Did he miss it or foul tip it? He fouled it again. Again, he stole third. Add him up, Sean. That's 2 stolen bases you've had already.
Belliard's coming in to talk with Palacios. We've got to do something to shorten up this lead, he's telling him, because if not, you're never going to get Dunston. What's been happening is Belliard's been playing him to pull. Lean's been playing him straight away, and nobody's been going to the bag. So Belliard will probably say, look, I'll just play a little bit more up the middle. Why don't you see if you can throw this guy out away so he doesn't pull the ball in the hole, and I'll try to keep Dunston close.
Dunston, a good lead. Not quite as big, though. 1-2 the count. He backs off the rubber. Wisnitzer, spelled backward, is Riz-Tin-Zoo. I think Wisnitzer sounds better. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. An interesting duel. Kelly Nicoleska of Des Plaines celebrating a birthday. Chuck Leska, her uncle, is watching the game. Two and two the count. Neither shortstop nor second baseman was covering. Palacios bothered by Dunston. Now look at the, see, they've shortened up the distance from second base. There's again, he breaks contact with the rubber. And now Bonilla comes in from third base. The game is an hour old already.
He's probably telling him, Harry, on instructions from the bench to just throw the ball home. If he's going to go, he's going to go, but you're dividing your attention. Meanwhile, you're 0-2, now you're 2-2, and you can't afford any more walks.
Whoa, they balked, And now Dunston goes to third base. How about that? He don't have to steal it. That's the second balk of the inning.
Well, maybe Bonilla said, look, if you don't like him at second, just don't hesitate. He'll be at third, and you can get around your pitching. Watch it again. Goes up in. No hesitation.
There, no hesitation at all. That's right. And so now Dunston, with the tying run, is at third base. Nobody out. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Be very easy to see a young man lose his composure in this situation. So we'll have to see just how much experience Mr. Palacios has. 0-2, now 3-2 on Sandberg.
Now he winds a pit. Ball 4, he walked up. That brings up Schiraldi. He's walked 2 men, he's balked twice in this inning. And Schiraldi now will be coming up. And Chuck Cottier, the third base coach, is engaging him in conversation while Sid Bream talks to Vicente Palacios.
And now Ray Miller's coming out to talk with him. He has really seen him lose some composure this inning. They're going to have a meeting at the mound with the whole Pirate infield. And let's see just how patient Frank Pulley's going to be while they go through whatever it is they're deciding to go through on the mound. Chuck Cottier talked with Schiraldi about perhaps the safety squeeze in which you try to get the bunt down and move along the man from first to second. If it's a great bunt, Dunston can always try to score. And we'll have to see. The meeting continues on the mound, and Frank Pulley, so far, very patient, but I think he's about ready to start out there and say, let's get this show on the road.
Becky Nyquist celebrating a birthday here with friends Barb, Dee, and Heather. And Pete Smith, a great fan in Chase City, Virginia. Justin and Matthew Smiley wish him well.
You don't think Ray told him to slow it down some, do you, Harry?
Just the contrary. Probably said speed it up, you might get him out. He's going to bunt the ball. A good bunt. The only play will be to first base. So runners are at second and third. Schiraldi did his job. Advance the runner.
That was a good bunt by Calvin because he accomplished what he wanted to do, and Dunston, watching the play, realizing that Bream was on top of it, couldn't advance, but you do get the sacrifice.
Well, here's a young, newly married couple, Doug and April Moorhead from Paw Paw, Illinois, here to cheer for the Cubs and get their wedding off on the right foot with a victory. There's a Paw Paw, Michigan, too, but this is Illinois.
That was Charlie Maxwell, wasn't it, Paw Paw Maxwell?
Charlie, yeah, Maxwell, who you say the homer every Sunday.
We could use him today.
Davey Martinez singled his first time up. One man out. 1 ball, no strikes. Palacios delivers. Low, ball 2. Sandberg up next. I guess Vicente, you would really call him Vincent American, wouldn't you? Palacios, a Mexican lad. 2 balls, no strikes. Phenia right close to the bag at third. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Get well wishes to Pete Tricola in Des Plaines. Cindy Powers watching the game here. 3 balls, no strikes. About 30,000 fans on hand. 3-0 pitch. Oh, the bases are loaded for Sandberg. He has walked, the bases loaded. 3 walks in the inning. And here's Sandberg now, who hit no double play in the first inning before the Cubs came back on to tie the score. Now he's up there with the infield drops back for the double play. Swung at a breaking ball and he misses. We have Dunston at third, Sandberg at second, Martinez at first. Martinez wide of the bag. Breen playing wide but close to the plate. A high pop foul over near the stands, out of play. 0-2. A left-hander getting ready in the bullpen. Bob Kipper from Aurora, Illinois.
Well, Dunston will have to come down the line. If he throws that breaking ball, 0-2, trying to be a little fine with it, he might throw it in the dirt, although Lavalier is very good at blocking pitches. That's when the base runner at third has got to take his lead, coming down the line with all his momentum coming forward on the pitch.
0-2 the count. There's a drive! Way back! In the center field, is going to be caught. Here's a run going to score. The game is tied up. The other runners at first and second. Sandberg got that ball in the air. What happened to the win on that one?
Didn't hit it hard enough. RBI number 5 for Ryno. Fastball just got over the inner portion of the plate, and Ryno didn't get the good wood on it. Popped it out to Andy Van Slyke, so it goes as a sac fly. That ties up the ball game at 2, and Andre Dawson will have a chance to do some damage.
Now Dawson with runners at second and third. That's Ryno's 5th run batted in. Dave Martinez leads the team with 11. High breaking ball. 1 ball, no strike. Palacio is showing undue wildness. He's walked 4 men in the first 2 innings. Oh, for a base hit here. Get out in front. Again, he steps off the rubber. We're in the 2nd inning. The game is over an hour old. Ground ball, they'll end the inning. Steps on third, and that retires the side. But 1 run out of all that. No hits. No errors. 2 men left. At the end of 2, it's tied up at 2.
Cub fans, follow the Cubs throughout the 1988 season by subscribing to Vineline, the Cubs official newspaper. This big monthly tabloid provides you with a unique behind-the-scene look at the Cubs. Subscribe now and you'll receive 12 issues of Vineline, plus a commemorative Wrigley Field keychain. Just send a check or money order for $15.95 to Cubs Vineline, Post Office Box 1159, Skokie, Illinois 60076. You'll be glad you did.
Harry Caray back in the ballpark. There's Dutchie sitting with Sylvia Stein and Ben down in the sunshine where it's warm.
Boy, Dutchie looks great, Harry. You must be taking good care of her.
Yeah. There's a bit, and it's a fastball outside. 1 ball, no strike. A good well wish to Chris Lutzer at Rush St. Luke's Hospital. Her uncle is Bill Lutzer, the production manager of Channel 9, or her father-in-law, rather. So Chris is married to his son, right? Yeah, sure. That works out. 3 balls, no strikes on Van Slyke. He homered in the first. Schiraldi has walked 2. 3-1 now. And you can bet Andy Van Slyke is ready to swing that bat. Boy, he had a rip. How did the Cardinals trade him?
Look at that trade, Harry. I know they wanted a catcher, but they gave up an everyday center fielder, an everyday catcher, A pitcher who was one of the best in the league last year. All for Tony Pena, who's certainly a quality catcher, but they paid dearly for him.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive in the right field, a base hit. Sandberg leaped high but couldn't reach it. And Van Slyke has got 2 out of 2. And that's his 5th hit in the series.
When Andy came over from St. Louis, at first he wasn't too happy about the deal. But in St. Louis, they played him at first, they played him in right, they'd play him in center occasionally. Talked about eventually playing him at third base, and he never really had a home. When he came to Pittsburgh, they said, center field's your home, son, and enjoy it.
Here now, Phenia. Line drive in a left center field going to the wall. Van Slyke's around third. He might try to score. Here he comes. A good throw. Got a chance. The bad, weak throw. A double for Phenia, and Van Slyke scored. Boy, I thought Dunston might throw him out.
I think he was surprised when he saw him running, Harry, because he didn't get a lot on the throw. It splits the gap, the 5th double of the year for Bobby Phenia, RBI number 9, and Phenia swings the bat well from both sides of the plate. And now here comes Andy Van Slyke. He's given the go-ahead by Gene Lamont, and Dunston throws this ball right into the ground. A few too many hops from where Dunston was. Did not get off a good throw, as we'll see. Now he turns around, and he just doesn't get much on it.
Well, he had a shot at him. Here's Bream. Curve outside, ball 1. Activity in the bullpen now. Looks like Drew Hall. Fouled outside first base. And the count is evened up.
Got to figure Bream to be trying to pull the ball in this situation with nobody out and Phenia at second base. So Leon has got to look toward that line. Sandberg very deep at second base. And Bream off to a great start this year. A lot of pressure with Randy Milligan coming over from the Mets. He swings a bat from the right side. He's a first baseman. Bream responding to the challenge.
1-1 pitch. Strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They've had 6 hits off Schiraldi and have scored 3 runs, leading 3-2. A high pop fly. Dunston going out. Makes the catch. Bream pops to Dunston. That brings him R.J. Reynolds. He drove in a run with a hit in the first. He drove in 3 with 1 swing of the bat, a homer off Greg Maddox yesterday. Good fastball hitter.
It's really something because he's being platooned in right field with Darnell Coles, and strangely enough, Coles, a right-hander, hits better against right-hand pitching than R.J. Reynolds does.
Now the pitch swung on, line drive, left field, base hit. Here's Mumphrey throwing a ball in towards the plate, cut off by Vance Law. Reynolds drilled a single to left. That's another run in.
Breaking ball down, and he drives it to left field. Mumph does a good job of just cutting off the ball, but they know they can run on his arm. And so Gene Lamont just keeps him going. It's a 4-2 game, and that's RBI number 5 for Reynolds, his 2nd of the afternoon.
They had 3 hits in the first inning, 1 in the second. They've had 3 in the third. Boston playing Texas had 4 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. They lead 13-2 over Texas in the 6th. Here's Lavalle. Pitch out. 1 ball, no strikes. Reynolds the runner. Reynolds used to be with the Dodgers, you know.
Pretty good deal. They got some good young players.
Long lead. Look at that lead. Pitch way wide. Ball 2. Drew Hall getting ready in the bullpen.
R.J. Reynolds came along with Sid Bream and Cecil Espy in exchange for Bill Madlock, who was pretty much on his last legs. That was September of '85.
There goes the runner. The peg. He is safe. A stolen base. A throw a little high, or they had a chance.
Take another look at it. A good break by R.J. Reynolds. His first stolen base of the year, and he's in under a high throw. Throw on the first base side is second, and the leg gets in before the tag on the shoulder.
Ball forward to LaValliere. That will bring him Rafi Belliard, the shortstop, who's hitless all season. 0 for 9. That worries you here. He's got to give a hit sometime. Fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Belliard loves to hit the ball to right field. With that in mind, Andre Dawson is very shallow. Dave Martinez shading him a couple steps toward right center.
Whoop, taking the ball. He didn't hesitate long enough.
That takes him out of the double play situation.
One ball, no strikes.
Take another look at it. Concentrating on Belliard. But you have got to make that pause. I think all pitchers should put stop on the inside of their glove, Harry, so that when they get into that set position, they will stop.
Outside, ball 2, the pitcher up next. The Pirates have the makings of a big inning with only 1 out. There's a drive, and it is a foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. Belliard going to the opposite field. Almost dropped it in there. Pittsburgh out in front 4-2 with runners at second and third and only 1 out.
And the infield is in at all 4 positions. I want to make it very difficult if Belliard decides to lay the ball down. With the pitcher due up next, it's not likely.
Belliard from the Dominican Republic. Fine defensive shortstop, a little guy. 5'6". He tried to bunt. Safety squeeze. Fouled it off. 2-2. LaValliere at second base. Reynolds at third. He struck him out. That's a big man to get. He swung at a very bad ball.
It's a breaking ball low and away. And Belliard cannot check his swing.
And now Vicente Palacios, the pitcher, comes up. The pitch. Ground ball, ought to be out of the inning. Durham's got it. Steps on the bag for the out. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. They go in the bottom of the third. 4-2 Pittsburgh.
40 years ago, Chicago's very own signed On the Air. WGN-TV and Chicago. Thanks for 40 great years.
We go to the bottom of the third. Durham leading it off. 1 strike and nothing.
And it was kind of Robin Hoffer to deliver up a few brownies and a couple cigars. Robin Hoffer from the tinderbox.
1 strike and nothing. Fastball high.
The cigars for Harry, the brownies for me.
Ball 2. Two and 1. Ball 3 high.
You know, Harry, you tell yourself to get the ball over the plate, but when you turn around, you look at those flags, you realize how difficult it is to pitch on a day like this. Pitchers are just very tentative about throwing the ball over the plate in a hittable spot. That accounts for most of the walks in this wind-blown Wrigley Field day.
3-1 pitch. Right to the first baseman for an easy out. 1 gone.
Bream made a fine play right there. Last year he had some problems defensively. At one time he had more errors than RBIs. But they kept saying that he was a pretty good defensive first baseman. And that play was a good one.
There's Mumphrey. We got a contrast in this game. On one hand, you have a pitcher who can't get the ball over much. On the other hand, pitcher that is hitting their bats almost perfectly. 7 hits already. There's a fly ball in the center field. Will be caught. Mumphrey flies deep to Van Slyke. 2 out.
There's a look at Don Zimmer looking on.
There's Van Slyke. Popped up his first time. Ground ball into the hole. Belliard's got it. A throw in time. 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. Dwayne will be joining Steve in a moment. This is Harry Caray from Wrigley Field. At the end of 3, the Pirates lead 4-2.
Back at Wrigley Field, our ball game moves into the 4th inning, and Barry Bonds leads off for Pittsburgh with the Pirates out in front 4-2. And the first pitch from Calvin Schiraldi with Steve Stone and our producer director Artie Harris. This is Dwayne Staats. Well, we can't say this game is moving right along because it took us better than an hour to play the first 2 innings, Steve.
There she goes,
Bonds
Dwayne.
goes after this one. A high fly ball deep into right center field, and that one's gone. An 0-1 pitch. And Barry Bonds has just hit his 5th home run of the year to make it 5-2. Coming into this game, Bonds was 0 for 8 in the series. He struck out his first time. Since then has tripled and homered. So his last 11 hits have gone for extra bases. 11 out of 16 hits for the year.
You can't get away with high fastballs today. This one up in the eyes of Bonds, and he just murders it. Way back into the 2nd tier of the bleachers. 5 homers, 5 RBIs, and Jim Sundberg out to talk with Calvin Schiraldi, who is starting to get hit pretty hard. 5 runs, 8 hits, and Drew Hall ready to go in the pen.
Now, Steve, you mentioned you can't get by with high fastballs today with the wind blowing out at better than 30 miles per hour. And as it turns out, Schiraldi so much of the time is a high fastball pitcher.
It's going to be tough on him if he throws with conditions like this. Now, he looked pretty good in the 2nd inning, Dwayne, but had his problems in the 1st, had some problems in the 3rd, and starting off a little shaky here in the 4th. It's going to be an early exit for him, and on comes Drew Hall.
Yep, Don Zimmer comes out to make the pitching change. So Schiraldi works 1 hitter into the 4th. The call goes for Drew Hall. 5-2 the score, Pittsburgh, and we'll be back in a moment.
April 5th, 1948, WGN television goes on the air.
Everybody, let's
I still have a dream today.
I think it was the 4th of July.
The whole world is watching Chicago tonight. The Super Bowl. The Cubs win.
A lot has happened since 1948, and we've watched it all together for 40 years, WGN and Chicago.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has the right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited.
Well, Drew Hall is the new Cub pitcher. Calvin Schiraldi worked 3 innings plus, allowing 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 home runs. He struck out 2, walked 3. One of those walks an intentional pass.
And Drew Hall comes on at 0-1, a 13.50 ERA, making his 4th appearance, 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. There you take a look at it. And it'll be up to Drew to hold down the Pirates, who have got their hitting clothes on today. Keep the ball down and keep it away from the right-hand hitters.
Here is Jose Lean, the second baseman. The pitch too low, ball 1. Hall's last outing 5 days ago against the Cardinals in St. Louis. He suffered the loss in that 7-5 ball game. Ground ball up the middle, and that's going to go through into center field, a base hit. Hit number 9 for Pittsburgh. First hit of the ball game for Lean. Well, the Pirates jumped to a 2-0 lead. Then the Cubs picked up a run in the first, another run in the second to tie. Pittsburgh 2 in the third, and now another run in the 4th inning, as Schiraldi has been chased from the game on the home run by Barry Bonds. Leaned at first, and here's Van Slyke, who is 2 for 2. Van Slyke with a homer and a single, 2 runs scored. It's too low, ball 1. The stretch. Schiraldi, or rather Hall, misses low. Hall in relief of Schiraldi. Boy, a tough day. We've seen the effects this park and the wind has had on Schiraldi and Palacios. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. The one thing you want to do on a day like today is throw strikes, because you don't want to start walking people and then seeing hitters hit the ball out. The 2-1 is low for ball 3.
Palacios very fortunate to get out of that second inning with 2 balks, 3 walks, and only 1 run. That's an inning that can sometimes put 5 on the board, but he was able to escape without a base hit.
Hall with a toss to first and leaned back in easily. Big swing and a miss to run the count to 3-2. Van Slyke had a base hit in yesterday's game, 2 hits the day before.
And now, if he's got a good move, this is a good time to use it, because you figure Lean's going to be running. Sandberg wants that fastball away.
Runners going. The pitch swung on. Fly ball deep to right center field. All the way back, Martinez, and that ball is gone. Van Slyke has just hit a 2-run home run. His second home run of the afternoon. So Hall is greeted by a single and a home run. And that makes it a 3-run inning and a 7-2 ball game.
We knew we'd see a lot of fireworks today, but we were hoping we'd see some off the bat. The Cubs, and still might. So far early, it's all Pittsburgh and all Andy Van Slyke. His second home run of the game, second of the year. RBI 6 and 7. A 3-2 fastball. Sandberg wanted it away. Drew Hall got it in, and Andy Van Slyke hit it out.
I tell you, you go 3-2 or 3-1, and the hitter knows that you have to come in there. He is all set on a day like today. Here's Bonilla, 2 for 2, a single and a double. 3 runs home for the Pirates in the 4th. The pitch wide, ball 1.
The reason why it's so tough today, Dwayne, is that on a 3-2 count, if you're throwing a fastball, all the guy has to do is hit a pop-up. And if he gets it up high enough, the wind's going to take it out of the park.
This one low and outside. 2-0. And Bonilla puts a charge into this one toward left center, but Martinez over to make the catch right in front of the track. So Bonilla's retired for the first time and the first out in the 4th inning. Base is empty for Sid Bream. Bream off to a good start for the Pittsburgh Ball Club this year. Foul ball. Strike 1. And home run by Van Slyke, the first given up by Drew Hall this year. Van Slyke came into this game with 4 runs batted in for the year. He has 3 this afternoon. There's a ball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul ball straight back. A ball and 2 strikes now. Bream will get a little pressure from Randy Milligan, a right-handed hitting first baseman acquired from New York. But for the most part, in the early stages of this year, it has been Bream at first. It's low, and the count is 2-2. Bream out in front, just got a piece of that one. No, I guess he didn't. A swing and a miss as Sandberg dropped the ball and gets the tag on Bream. Just for a moment, thought that Bream may have made just a little contact. But here's another look at the strikeout, a swing and a miss. So Sandberg put the tag on him for the second out of the inning. And R.J. Reynolds steps in. Reynolds 2 for 2. He takes a strike. The series even at a game apiece. Ground ball, third base side, foul. Reynolds jammed on the pitch.
Pirates have acquired 2 more right-hand hitters. They got Randy Milligan, they got Dave Hostetler. Both of them, they feel, will light a fire under Sid Bream. Bream had no competition over there for the couple of years since he was acquired from Los Angeles, and they felt maybe that little extra added incentive, knowing that if he does go into a funk at first base, they've got some guys who swing from the right side who can hit the ball out of the park. So far, it's worked out.
Fly ball, center field. Here comes Martinez, and the wind carried the ball away from him. It goes by him and is backed up by Dawson. Reynolds will turn second and stop there. Well, that started as a fly ball to be caught by Martinez, but the ball carried away from him, and Dawson had to back it up. Here's another look.
Dave Martinez can't get to the ball, and then it just goes by him. Fortunately, Andre Dawson playing a good solid right field, realizing that if the ball does get by, he's going to have to be there. Holds Reynolds to a double, his first of the year, his 3rd hit. Watch it again. The wind pushing this ball away from Martinez. He was set up for the dive, but he just never could get to it.
And here's Mike LaValliere, the catcher. Taking one too low for a ball. Double for R.J. Reynolds. So Reynolds has had a pretty good 2 games here. The 3-run home run of the 4th inning yesterday. 3 for 3 today. The 1-0 pitch. LaValliere takes it down and away. 2-0 the count. The pitch. That's low. So Hall is behind the left-handed hitting catcher, 3-0.
Valier's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone, and when you stand about 5-7 or so, you will get your share of bases on balls if you don't swing it too many pitches out of the zone.
And the strike. So it's 3-1.
He's also shown a tremendous ability to hit with runners in scoring position. Kept the game alive in St. Louis that the Pirates later won with a key base hit over the head of Tommy Herr.
Three-one pitch. Pops it foul the other way. So we go to 3-2 here on LaValliere. LaValliere has given some serious thought, even at this point at the major league level, thinking about switch hitting. He's 27 years old and coming off a Gold Glove season last year when he hit 300. The 3-2 pitch. Pop foul. That's going to be out of play. "11 Pittsburgh hits and 7 runs. The pitch is made, and Hall walks him. So Drew Hall gives up his first walk, setting up runners at first and second. 2 gone for the shortstop, Rafael Palmeiro, who is 0 for 2 and nothing out of 13 for the year. 2 years ago, this fellow wore out the Cubs. They had a little better success with him last year as Palmeiro split time between the Pirates and the minor leagues. And every time you looked up 2 years ago, this fellow was getting a base hit. There's a strike call.
Al Pedrique is a man that won the starting shortstop job out of spring training. But Jim Leyland knew Belliard's history against the Cubs, especially in this park, and he decided to give Rafael the go-ahead in this series. He will try to dump the ball down the right field line.
2 outs to strike the count on the hitter. 2 men on. Strike 2, punched out by Frank Pulley. 0-2 the count. Called in relief of Schiraldi. All taking a second look in, now has the sign ahead on the count. Drew again stepping back. Runner at second, Reynolds. LaValliere at first. The stretch and the 0-2. And a foul ball down the right side. Let's pause here for station identification.
This is WGN Television, Channel 9 in Chicago.
Two strikes the count on Belliard. He is the 8th Pirate to hit in the inning. Now the pitch. And a shot foul up the right side, hitting the tarp down near the bullpen.
It almost took Tommy Sant with him as it went down the line. Tommy Sant and Vance Law, minor league teammates, talking about it before the game. They had Dick Pole on that ball club also.
Now Hall's all set. He'll try the 0-2 again. into the dirt by Sandberg, right back to him. And Belliard, I guess he might have been hit by that pitch. Let's take a look.
He might have hurt himself trying to get out of the way of the ball. It doesn't look like it hit him, but it looks like he might have pulled something on the way. Maybe they are saying that it did hit him. It certainly doesn't look like it. Apparently that's what Frank Pulley is motioning. Sometimes you like to look at the baseball. It looked like he got out of the way of that cleanly. Let's watch it again. Now look at the back foot. He clearly gets the front foot out of the way. Very close if it hit him, but apparently Frank Pulley, who was a little closer, said it did.
And Pulley right away motioned to first. So Belliard hit by a pitch, loading the bases. And here's the pitcher, Palacios, Vicente Palacios, taking a strike. So we've had a little bit of everything in this one. Balks, walks, hit batsman, home run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing, and that one, a foul ball off Pulley's foot.
Frank knew there was some contact on that pitch.
Palacios has grounded out twice. So the Pirates have sent 9 hitters to the plate in the 4th inning. Bonds, who opened the inning with a home run off Schiraldi, is on deck. Here's the pitch. Palacios started to go on the pitch high, but took it in the count. A ball, 2 strikes. Outfield around to the right side for the Pittsburgh pitcher. It hauls 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The inning is over. Palacios strikes out, but the Pirates score 3 and leave 3. We go into the bottom of the 4th. The score 7-2 Pittsburgh.
Watch Geraldo. You never know what to expect. Tomorrow morning at 11 on Channel 9.
Bottom of the 4th inning from Wrigley Field. Sean Dunstan's going to lead it off. Dunstan, then Sandberg, followed by the pitcher's spot against Vicente Palacios.
It looks like with Mike Bielecki loosening up in the bullpen, they're going to go to the bench for a pinch hitter.
There's the right-hander Bielecki, former Pirate, and the pitch to Dunstan is a strike call. Cubs went down in order in the 3rd inning. Palacios, after working very slowly through the first 2 innings, had a quick 3rd. A wave and a miss. Dunstan walked in that 2nd inning and put on a great exhibition of distracting Palacios, getting walks out of him, and then Sean eventually scored the 2nd Cub run. There's a ball away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The walk for Dunstan in the 2nd, his first of the year, by the way, after going 0 for Arizona and walking once in Oklahoma City in the 2 exhibition games against the Rangers. Sean drew the walk. Swing and a miss and a bad pitch. The ball away from LaValliere, and Dunstan's going to reach. Well, we hadn't had one of those yet today, but we do now. A strikeout on a bad pitch. First strikeout for Palacios.
This will go as a wild pitch, I'm sure. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. And you can see LaValliere just didn't block that pitch well. Instead of getting down and having his glove turned up and blocking it with his body, he turned his glove over, tried to one-hand the ball, and it bounced away from him. So Dunstan winds up at first base on a strikeout swinging.
And here's Jim Sundberg. Sundberg walked his first time after getting down on the count 0-2. He was at the plate while Dunstan was moving to 2nd and 3rd on the box. This one bounces in and pops away from LaValliere. Dunstan goes to 2nd, makes the turn, and another wild pitch charged to Palacios.
Plenty of action around the old ball yard today. Dunstan having some fun with Jose Lean. And this time, LaValliere does move his body over to get in front, but has it hit off its body once again. See, if you have a small body behind the plate, Dwayne, there's not a whole lot of room to block those pitches. You get the big guys like Jody, they have a lot more room to absorb the baseball. But with LaValliere at 5'7", the ball just bounds all over the place.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Rolando Rooms has moved into the on-deck circle. And there is ball 3. 3-0. Well, on a day like today, it's never over. It's now 6-2. But 7 runs, and Arnie concurs, will not win this ball game. Strike call. So it's 3-1 on Jim Sundberg. Dunston struck out but reached on a wild pitch and then was wild pitched up to second. Sundberg up on the count, 3-1. We go to 3-2 on a swing and a miss. Sundberg doing the catching. Jody Davis getting the day off. The other lineup change, Jerry Mumphrey in left. Don Zimmer wanted to get him 4 or 5 at bats. Foul ball into the screen. Palacios will have to make another 3-2 pitch.
Although Rolando Rooms has been in a couple of games, this is going to be his first at bat. I'm sure he's a pretty excited young man.
There's Dunston at second, nobody out. Ground ball back to the mound, sharply hit. Dunston will have to stay at second, and the toss to first by Palacios in time. Boy, that ball was smoked back to the hill, but Palacios knocked it down and made the play.
And I think the trainer is going to come out to have a look at him. Kent Biggerstaff coming out. This is a rocket back, and I think it got part of his pitching hand. He immediately talked with Sid Bream. Out comes Biggerstaff, and now Jim Leland, and they're taking a look at it. It looked like it is bleeding. It's the little finger. Fortunately for him, it looks like the little finger on the pitching hand, and it'll be interesting to see if he continues.
Jim Leland's already looking into the dugout.
Here you are, 5 runs up. You haven't qualified for the win yet. They're taking the ball away, and it might be serious enough to put him on the shelf. They'll have to see what he can do. He got hit pretty hard with that ball, and anytime you get your pitching hand in there, you run the risk of a broken finger. So that's something most pitchers are taught, but it's a reflex, Dwayne. You can't get that pitching hand out of the way quickly enough in more instances. And apparently that will be it. They're going to take some x-rays, I think, as the finger continues to bleed. And it looks like Jeff Robinson coming out.
Well, Kent Biggerstaff attends to Vicente Palacios. Here's the little finger on the pitching hand. So Palacios will depart, and Jeff Robinson will be the new pitcher. So while the Pirates change pitchers, we'll take time for this message.
Is it a coincidence or a curse when a ship bearing priceless treasure from Pharaoh's tomb mysteriously disappears in a calm sea? When over 24 people linked to the discovery of King Tut's tomb perish within a matter of years after the tomb is opened. Coincidence or curse? Decide for yourself. On live television, join me for Mysteries of the Pyramids live.
Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Back at Wrigley Field, Vicente Palacios departs after being hit on the pitching hand by that shot off the bat of Jim Sundberg. Palacios threw him out with Dunston remaining at second, and Jeff Robinson will come on to replace him, and Robinson will get all the time he needs to loosen.
This is kind of unusual because Jeff Robinson has become the stopper on this club. So much so that he's been in 5 games and he's got 3 saves. 3 out of the 4 Pirate saves this year. So he's brought in very early, and one of the reasons is the Pirates have the off day tomorrow. This was another good trade by Sid Thrift. They got Robinson over from San Francisco. Last year, Jeff was 6-8 with San Francisco with a fine .279 ERA in 63 games. He had 10 saves with the Giants. Then he came over to Pittsburgh. And along with Jim Gott, they formed quite a duo out of that bullpen. He was 2-1 with the Pirates, .304 ERA in 18 games. So all in all, 81 ball games. A sparkling .285 ERA with 14 saves, only 89 hits and 123 innings. As we take a look around at the scoreboard around the league.
And Steve, Boston making up for some lost time. They've had some problems scoring runs against the Rangers, but they jumped out to a quick lead with 4 runs in the first inning. Now batting in the bottom half of the 6th. The Rangers have a 13-2 lead. Baltimore trailing again. The Indians off to a great start. You know, the Indians team ERA is less than 2. It stands at 188. And the Indians at the end of 5 leading Baltimore 3-1. Brewers out in front of the Yankees 2-1. That game's in the bottom of the 5th. Minnesota and Toronto now through 7. Blue Jays up 2-0. Kansas City and Detroit also at the end of 7, and the Tigers have a 7-3 lead on that one. White Sox play later on in Oakland.
You know, Rolando Rooms had a battle in spring training to make the ball club, and for a while it was touch and go. Then he had such a good spring that Jim Fry and Don Zimmer included him on the team. But a lot of people thought he was ticketed for Iowa. In fact, the first week of the season, a couple of his friends called up the motel where they thought he was, and their answer, sorry, there's no rooms at the inn.
You've been waiting. You've been waiting for his first at bat.
And there it is.
You hatched that up sometime this spring. You said, I hope he makes the club because I'm going to do this if he does.
And he's ready to go. Rolando Rooms taking a look out at Jeff Robinson. Robinson has got a great split finger fastball learned under the tutelage of Roger Craig. Everybody in that San Francisco uniform at least toyed with it during the course of their stint with the Giants, but Robinson took to it quite well, and that's the pitch that's held him in good stead over here in Pittsburgh. This is a very strong bullpen for the Pirates. Just unusual to see Robinson in the game in the 4th inning.
So Rolando Rooms steps to the plate for the first time in the big leagues. Last year at Pittsfield, Rooms hit .308 with 21 home runs and 95 runs batted in. And he faces Jeff Robinson. Dunston at second, 1 out. And the first pitch to Rooms. He waves and misses strike 1.
Split finger fastball is so effective because it's the same arm motion as a regular fastball. It comes in there and looks like a regular fastball, and at the last instant the bottom falls out. That's the pitch that made Bruce Sutter so effective all those years. Jeff Robinson with good velocity throws a dandy.
This one into the dirt, blocked by LaValliere. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson and Gott, part of the Rick Russell trade. Robinson 1-0 against the Cubs last year with 4 saves and an earned run average of 1.06. So the Cubs have not had much success against Jeff Robinson. His lifetime ERA is .259 against the Cubs, covering 19 appearances. Ground ball bobbled by Bonilla. Dunston's going to go to third as the shortstop Belliard picks it up and couldn't hold it. And Rooms is aboard. Rooms hit the ball first to Bonilla, but it got away from him.
I think it's an error on Bonilla, and good base running by Dunston. As soon as he sees the ball hop up in the air, he just sprints by Belliard. No chance for Belliard to get anybody, and so Rooms is aboard with an error on Bonilla.
Second error of the year charged to Bobby Bonilla. And now the top of the batting order, Dave Martinez. Martinez 2 for 2 with a single and a walk. 11 runs batted in on the year for Dave Martinez, among the league leaders. The pitch too low.
What you like to see happen is Robinson get behind with the split finger, and then he's got to come to you with the fastball, and that's the pitch that Martinez can turn on and drive out of the ballpark. He's shown tremendous strength this year.
This one away. So Martinez out in front on the count, 2-0. Don Zimmer hoping to see the Cubs score a few runs here, taking advantage of a first and third one-out situation. Right now the Cubs down 7-2. And there's ball 3. Ryne Sandberg is on deck.
You know, you might decide to give a left-hand hitter a 3-0 go-ahead, because if Robinson does lay one in, Dave is capable of hitting it out. Let's see if he lets him go, if he throws that ball in a good hittable spot.
There's a strike. He kept the ball away from him. It's now 3-1.
And even if you do get the go-ahead, that's a good pitch to lay off of. A sinker low and away, there's not much you can do except ground that ball to second base.
Martinez takes ball 4 outside. So the Cubs have the bases loaded without the benefit of a hit in this inning. Dunston struck out but reached on a wild pitch. Rooms reaches on an error, and now Martinez with a walk. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Ryne Sandberg.
We're hitting the same situation in the second inning. Hit a sacrifice fly to center, just missed that one.
Sandberg grounded into a double play on a sharply hit ball to short in the first inning before lifting the sacrifice fly to center in the second. 5 runs batted in on the year for Sandberg, and Robinson's pitch, a wave and a miss, strike 1.
Rhino only has 1 career grand slam, that coming off Frank LaCourte.
He's got him loaded out there now. Into the dirt, blocked by LaValliere. Nice play by the Pittsburgh catcher, shifting that time to stay in front of the ball.
Only problem with the split finger fastball is that you throw it in the dirt a lot, and they've got a very fast man at third base in Sean Dunston. Good speed on the bases, maybe the fastest combination of Cubs. Dunston, Rooms, and Martinez.
Dunston at third, Rooms at second, Martinez at first. 1-1 the count. The pitch. 1-2. That pitch breaking down and away from Sandberg. Yesterday, the Pirates worked Sandberg in. They jammed him a lot. But with that split-fingered pitch, Robinson keeps it down and away. This one blocked again by LaValliere. Well, he's coming close.
He saved a couple of runs this inning. Mike LaValliere, who had his difficulties in the beginning of the inning, has saved a couple of runs, and the wind is just absolutely howling straight out.
It was up around 30 miles per hour when we started this ball game. There's almost a gale blowing out to center field right now, toward right center. And a wave and a miss. Sandberg is out on strikes. A big strikeout for Robinson, out number 2. And here is Andre Dawson. Dawson, 1 out of 2. He's singled and scored in the first inning. And there's the faithful in right field.
And Dawson has 4 career grand slams, 3 of them against right-hand pitchers. The latest, Todd Worrell, the beginning of last year in St. Louis.
That's the one that got him started when he hit that slammer off Worrell. And he hasn't stopped hitting since. Low, ball 1.
If you're patient, the new strike zone is going to hurt pitchers like Jeff Robinson, because they're not going to get that low call on the split finger. And then when they try to get it up a little higher, that pitch becomes very vulnerable.
Ground ball. Deep in the hole. Throw to second in time. Good play by Belliard. He hasn't hit in this series, but he's made some fine defensive plays and made one there. So out of that, the Cubs do not score. They leave the bases loaded, and at the end of 4, the score 7-2 Pittsburgh.
Katharine Hepburn, Nick Nolte, a hired gun, hired for fun. Grace Quigley. Monday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Barry Bonds is leading off the 5th inning, facing Mike Bilecki. The count, a ball and a strike. There's a high fly ball down the left field line, but twisting back toward the stands and out of play. So the count on Bonds is 1-2.
Bilecki on for the 4th time, and he's the 3rd pitcher today. Schiraldi started, followed by Hall, and there you look at Mike Bilecki, 1-0, 736, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits. Hasn't given up a homer yet. He's walked 4, struck out 2.
Bouncing ball up the right side. Bonds doesn't get a hit unless it's for extra bases. A triple and a home run today. His last 11 hits have been for extra bases. And Bilecki gets him looking. Bonds called out on strikes to open the 5th inning.
Good pitch by Mike Bilecki. Barry Bonds doesn't like it, but Frank Pulley does, and he's got the deciding vote. A generous outside corner, you might say, but certainly close enough.
Jose leaned up there. Strike. Kept the ball in on him that time. Bilecki's victory came the opener down in Atlanta when the Cubs beat the Braves in 13 innings, 10-9. Bouncing ball for Dunston. The throw skips by Durham. And that'll be an error. Dunston charged with his first error of the year.
Looked like Sean didn't set himself and didn't get a lot on the throw. Let's watch it again. It's a good pickup from deep in the hole, but Lean does not get out of the box quickly. And then Sean seems to take a little something off this ball. Leon tries for the swipe at first and doesn't come up with it. And so Sean picks up the air. Watch it one more time. And you can see Sean kind of hold up. Doesn't get everything into the throw.
So with 1 out, Lean's aboard, and here's Andy Van Slyke, who's hit 2 home runs and singled. He has 3 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. The pitch outside, ball 1. Van Slyke hit 21 home runs last year while hitting .293. There's a strike. 1-1 the count.
Here's an example of a guy that just needed an organization to show some confidence in him. Play him every day and just forget about him, because Andy Van Slyke has tremendous tools. He runs well, throws well, and he's showing that he can hit either left-handers or right-handers.
You hear so many players so often say opportunity is everything, and he played a lot in St. Louis, but he never felt as if he got the kind of opportunity there that he has in Pittsburgh. Strike call. It's 1-2.
When you're consistently shifted around from position to position, you have to really worry about your defense. If you're at first base one day and maybe third and then center and right and left whenever, pinch hitter, you just cannot concentrate. And I think now Andy Van Slyke knows he's going to be in center field and he's going to hit third, and that's the end of the story.
Strike. 3 call, and that was a good pitch by Bilecki. Second strikeout, both looking.
Van Slyke wanted this ball away, and you can see right down the middle, and there should be no complaints on the part of Andy Van Slyke. He was looking outside. Sandberg shifted his weight to the inner portion of the plate, and that ball tailed back right over the heart.
Now Bobby Bonilla, 2 out of 3. Lean draws the throw on his back end. Mike Bilecki, formerly with the Pirates. Cubs added him at the end of the spring training camp. Foul ball by Bonilla. Oh, Bonilla, big and strong. Started to show some power last year. Was leaned at first. Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bielecki right now using fastball, slider, and change. In the past has also thrown the forkball, and at some point may utilize that pitch again. Bonilla, big swing and a miss.
There's a big advantage to knowing your ball club, and certainly Mike Bielecki knows this team. He probably saw Bobby Bonilla swinging a lot of high fastballs up out of the zone when he was sitting in the dugout for Pittsburgh, and he threw one by him. He might just do that again.
And another balk call. They say he didn't pause. So that's the 4th balk we've seen called in this game. First one to Bielecki. Schiraldi was charged with a balk, and the Pittsburgh starter Palacios charged with 2 balks. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Fly ball hit well deep to left center field, and that one's going to go. Bonilla has just teed off and has belted a 2-run home run to make it a 9-2 ball game. Bonilla takes that one into left center field. That's his 4th home run of the year, and this fella is just going to continue to hit home runs for the Pirates. He found the range last year. Going to be a good power man in the middle of that Pittsburgh lineup from here on out.
That ball tailed back over the plate, and Bobby Bonilla drove in runs number 10 and 11. He's got 3 today on 3 for 4.
Bream takes a pitch too low, ball 1. So the Pirates have scored in every inning except the 2nd. Bream fooled on the pitch, and the count is 1-1. Bream has walked, popped out, and struck out. This one down and in. 2-1.
I said there'd be 7 home runs today, Dwayne, but I didn't think Pittsburgh would get them all. I'd like to see Cub bats start to boom a little. Still a long way to go.
Pitch low. 3-1. Well, Van Slyke hit one in the first to start it. Pirates hit 2 in the 4th. Bonds and Van Slyke again, and now Bonilla has hit one out in the 5th. And there's ball 4 upstairs. The 5th walk given up by Cub pitching. And R.J. Reynolds is the hitter. Reynolds perfect on the afternoon with 2 singles and a double. That on the heels of yesterday's 3-run home run. He swings and misses, strike 1.
Pirates are going to give right-handers fits this year because they've got 6 guys who swing the bat from the left side and do it pretty effectively. Bonds, Van Slyke, Bonilla, Bream, Reynolds, and LaValliere. Pretty good hitters.
Another cut and a miss by Reynolds. 2 strikes. Reynolds became a Pirate out of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. He likes to swing the bat up there. Bielecki out in front, 0-2. And another balk. So Bielecki charged with his 2nd balk. Don Zimmer is on his way to the mound. Bielecki has been charged with a balk after walking Bream.
Zim's not real happy with what's going on in the mound. And I think he's got to sit down, as does Dick Pole, and say to the pitchers, look, even if it's exaggerated, take a 2-second pause. Take whatever pause you have to take, but you have to cut down on these balks, especially the right-handers. You have got to take at least one long count.
And a liner into right field. That's going to be in there for extra bases. Scoring Bream. Reynolds on his way to second, and he will stop there with a double. His 4th consecutive hit. First time in his career that he has picked up 4 hits in a game, driving in another run.
You're going to pitch upstairs, you're going to get hurt. A high fastball. Reynolds turned on it. And here comes Sid Bream.
So the Pirates have another 3-run inning. It's a 10-2 ball game. And here is Mike LaValliere. Into the dirt, skipping by Sandberg, and over to third goes Reynolds. A wild pitch. So Bielecki has struck out 2, but has given up a home run, a double, a couple of balks, and a walk, and now a wild pitch.
Gets by Jim Sandberg, ruled a wild pitch. These runs are unearned, but this is not a good inning for Mike Bielecki.
Too low. 2-0. The flip side of a pitcher knowing the hitters would be the hitters knowing the pitcher coming from their club. Ground ball. Nice play by Durham. Bielecki over to cover, and that retires the side. But the Pirates score 3 unearned runs in the inning on a pair of hits. They leave 1. We go into the bottom half of the 5th. The score from Wrigley Field: Pittsburgh 10, the Cubs 2.
Last season, Cooper bats were a very big hit in the major leagues.
Tony Fernandez digs in. A swing and a drive. He's hit it hard to right field.
This year, Cooper gloves are a great catch in the majors, in Cooper styles and Cooper models. Now, Canada's best-selling gloves are making a name in the majors. And what Cooper did at the plate, they'll do in the field.
To left field. Here comes Raines coming hard. He dives. What a catch. A sensational catch by Raines.
From Wrigley Field, we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. 10-2, Pittsburgh out in front, with Steve Stone and our producer-director Artie Harris. This is Dwayne Staats, and Leon Durham leads it off for the Cubs. Durham, Mumphrey, and then Law against right-hander Jeff Robinson.
That ground ball that took Palacios out of the ball game might be to the benefit of Jeff Robinson, now whose game it is to win. And he's got 8 runs to work with.
Palacios working the first 3 and a third. Durham takes a strike. The Bull nothing out of 1 after a first inning walk and a ground ball to first in the 3rd. Line drive caught by the second baseman Lean. Been that kind of day so far for the Cubs. Durham hit the ball on the button, but Lean had the range and made the catch.
Right at him, and he just leans into this one.
We didn't necessarily see it then. Not only does he have great leaning ability then, but he has great leaping ability.
That too.
A great vertical leap. Here's Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey hit the ball hard his last time up, line to Van Slyke in center. Jerry singled home the first Cub run of the ball game in the first inning. The pitch is high, ball 1. Boston beat Texas 15-2. 20 hits for the Red Sox today. There's a shot, center field. Van Slyke back, and he's going to catch this one as well. So Mumphrey hits the ball well again for the second straight time to Andy Van Slyke in center.
You can actually hit the ball too hard. If Mumphrey got under that ball, he'd hit it out of the ballpark, but he hit it right on the nose. It was a sinking liner, and Van Slyke, for the second time, went back and retired him. So Van Slyke with a hitting streak on the line, 10 games in a row, and he almost had one last time, but for a fine play by shortstop Rafael Palmeiro.
Vance nothing out of 2. This 10-game hitting string for Law matches the longest of his career. And the pitch is down and in, ball 1. Durham line to second. Mumphrey with a line drive to center. Toronto has shut out Minnesota 2-0. A combined 6-hitter by Mike Flanagan and Tom Hinkie. Ground ball deep short for Belliard. High throw, but Bream down on the bag to retire the side. And the Cubs go up and down in order in the 5th. We've gone through 5 with a score 10-2 Pittsburgh.
I'm just wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. He's Chicago's one and only personality. Ooh, Harry!
When Harry cheers on the Cubbies, he hits a home run with me. Oh yes, and I'm just wild about Harry,
And Harry's wild about me.
Holy cow!
Harry calls the Cubs when they meet the Expos, Tuesday.
Through 5, 10-2. Cubs down to the Pirates, having been out hit by 10, 13-3. And here's Rafael Belliard, 0 for 2, and he's been hit by a pitch this afternoon. Made a couple of sparkling defensive plays in this series. Here he is to open the 6th against Mike Bilecki. First pitch in there, breaking ball, strike 1. Pitchers are up in Los Angeles. The Braves and the Dodgers. Zane Smith and Don Sutton are going at it. Wave and a miss. Strike 2. The Braves have set a modern National League record by losing 10 straight to open the season. The Major League record is 13. That's shared by the 1920 Detroit Tigers and the Washington Senators in 1904. Belliard with a pop fly, left center field. Who's going to get there? Nobody. It falls in between Mumphrey and Martinez, and Belliard has his first hit of the year. He loops it into left center.
No communication between Mumphrey and Martinez. It looked like either of these two guys could get the ball. Now watch what happens. They just kind of hold up at the same time, and it falls between them, a little collision. So things aren't going very well here today.
And Jeff Robinson, the Pittsburgh pitcher, steps in for the first time. He wants to bunt and does so foul up the first base side for a strike. Well, it's been one of those days so far. San Francisco at San Diego. Kelly Downs and Andy Hawkins the matchup. Montreal leading the Phillies 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th at Montreal. This one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets and the Cardinals are in the bottom of the 8th, tied 2-2 at Shea Stadium. Todd Worrell now on for St. Louis. A ball and a strike to count on Jeff Robinson. He bunts foul. There's Belliard over at first. They list him at 5'6".
Standing on that bag, I think. Looks like he's a little smaller than that, but he plays a good, solid shortstop.
Robinson bunts foul again. He's out on strikes. On the 1-2 pitch, Robinson bunts it foul. So Belliard remains at first. Robinson goes back into the dugout. Now we go to the top of the batting order, Barry Bonds. Bonds off to a great start. He has 2 hits today, a triple and a home run. Fouls it right back into the screen for a strike.
When he first came in the league, he kept swinging at high fastballs. He wanted to hit everything out of the park. As he's gotten a little more experience, he's realizing which pitches he can turn on and which he should let go. He's becoming more selective, and he's very strong. He's got a lively bat.
There's a foul ball, loop back this way. Just above us, into the upper deck it goes, 2 strikes.
Last year hit 25 home runs, only 59 RBIs. But as a leadoff hitter, you expect that kind of RBI production. 32 stolen bases, and he cut down on his strikeouts. He's just going to get better and better.
He really made marked improvement cutting down on the strikeouts. This one low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In '86, when he came up from Hawaii, he struck out 102 times in 413 at-bats. Last year, 88 times and over 550 at-bats. A wave and a miss. He's out on strikes this time. Twice today he'd been called out, this time swinging. So he's 2 for 5. Second out in the 6th. Here's the second baseman, Jose Lean. Lean scored after reaching on Dunstan's throwing error in the 5th inning. Pirates are hoping, Steve, that he can hit 250 or 260. They'll be very happy with that. There's a strike.
I think he'll be able to do that, but he's not going to hit for too much power as long as he's got that split grip. Right now he's just looking for contact, and as a number 2 hitter, you have to have special skills. You have to be able to hit behind the runner. There'll be a lot of hit and run situations with Bonds leading off.
This one a strike, snapped on to first, and the runner just does get back in. Sandberg down to Durham. I'll tell you, Sandberg has been throwing the ball well.
This is a very good throw to Leon Durham. Out away, he sees Belliard straying off the bag and just misses him. So a 2-strike count. Lean, a good contact hitter, and there's no doubt about his glove. He's got a good one at second.
Pitch is high, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, Lean came on and played a little more than a month for the Pirates last year and hit .322. That after hitting .268 at Vancouver. The 1-2 pitch. Foul down the right side, out of play.
Sid Thrift came in and he did something that a lot of general managers would like to do. He got rid of his older players, his guys with big salaries, replaced them with a lot of good young arms and a lot of hustling young players who wanted to make a name for themselves. And this year it's paying dividends.
He is out on strikes. So Bielecki strikes out the side. That's 5 strikeouts for Bielecki. Pirates leave a man, do not score. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 10-2 Pittsburgh.
Now Allstate presents the Good Hands Award Play of the Week. In the opener, John Cangelosi at bat. He slices a ground ball to Sean Dunston, who comes up firing. Now watch the throw. In the dirt, and the fine play by Manny Trio. Watch the hands of Trio, and remember, for all your financial needs, you're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Here's Sean Dunston opening the bottom of the 6th inning. Dunston facing right-hander Jeff Robinson. And the pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Sean has walked and struck out, but he's been on base twice and has scored a run. Want to extend birthday wishes to Ruth Colbida. Hoping the Cubs can score a few runs here. Liner into right center field. That's going to be in there. Dunston around first, on his way to second. And he's going to shoot for 3, and he will make it. Reynolds had trouble picking it up in the outfield. And then Lean had trouble handling the relay throw, and Dunston goes all the way to 3rd.
Sean Dunston, with a play in front of him, decides to take things into his own hands. Great speed when he realizes that there's a little trouble in the outfield. Here comes Dunston. And no chance to get him at third.
So Dunston is on for the third straight time. A triple for Sean, his first of the year. And this is Jim Sundberg. 0 for 1 with a base on balls. There's a strike call. The Mets have come back to beat the Cardinals. That's a final. 3-2 New York over St. Louis. And the Orioles lose again. The pitch is down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland 4, Baltimore 1, the final in Baltimore. So the Orioles are now 0-12. Low and outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Talk about a nightmare. Roland Heeman going there for his first year. Managerial change after 6 games, and he's seen his team lose 12 straight.
Dunston at third. Robinson's pitch is a strike. Rafael Palmeiro has moved into the on-deck circle. Frank DiPino is throwing in the Cubs bullpen. And Sundberg is out on strikes. Third strikeout for Pittsburgh pitching. And the second strikeout posted by Robinson. And now Bielecki is lifted in favor of Rafael Palmeiro.
Palmeiro hitting .286. First opportunity to pinch hit this year. Rafael with no home runs and 3 RBIs, used entirely in his starting role.
Take a look with Baltimore losing that ball game. See how far they are back of first now. Boy, what a start. They were 9.5 to start the day. And there's a strike to Palmeiro. So the Indians are now 11-2. The Orioles 10.5 back. Boy, here we are on April the 17th. Strike call. 0-2. Well, you know how difficult it is to recover at any time during the season from that kind of a losing string. With the Orioles and the Braves in the National League suffering the same kind of thing. Palmeiro fouls this one. So the count is still 0-2. Mike Bielecki lifted here. Two innings for Bielecki, by the way. 3 runs, no earned runs on 3 hits. He struck out 5, walked a man. Threw a wild pitch, was charged with 2 balks. Ground ball off the glove of Bream. Dunston's going to score, and Robinson's over in time to make the play. Dunston scores. It's now 10-3. A run batted in for Palmeiro.
Fine play by Sid Bream. He drives this ball. Bream stays in front of it, has enough composure to fire the ball to Jeff Robinson. And they cut down Palmeiro at first, but that's RBI number 4 for Rafael. And Bream has shown you a pretty good glove out there today.
So the Cubs pick up another run, and here is Dave Martinez. Bases empty and 2 outs. And a sharply hit ball. Great stop by Lean. He gets up and makes the play to retire the side. Great play by Lean. 1 run for the Cubs in the 6th. Harry's on his way back, and at the end of 6, the score 10-3 Pittsburgh.
With Steve Stone, Harry Caray back to the ballpark. Frank DiPino going to take over for the Cubs.
Frank DiPino coming on for the 5th time this year. 540 earned run average. 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, a homer. Hasn't walked anybody yet. He struck out 4. He's the 4th Cub pitcher. Schiraldi went 3+ innings. Drew Hall went an inning. Mike Bielecki went 2, and now Frank DePino comes on to try to stem the Pittsburgh tide.
Let's pause here for station identification.
This is WGN Television, Channel 9 in Chicago.
There is Andy Van Slyke to lead it off. He's hit 2 homers. He's 3 out of 4. The respiratory therapist from Carl Foundation Hospital in Urbana are here today. Here's a pitch, a ground ball. That's an easy out. Van Slyke grounded to Durham on DePino's first pitch. A couple of die-hard Cub fans, Larry Tatum from Cleveland, Tennessee, and Steve Perrin from Birchwood, Tennessee are here. One out, nobody on. Bobby Bonilla hitting right-handed, a switch hitter. He's 3 out of 4. He homered last time. Pitch a little bit outside. John Nemeh, N-E-M-E-H, is here with his family. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. He had a cut, fouled it off. Birthday greetings to Teddy Samway. One and 2. A little bit low and outside. Two. Ground ball foul. Hey, I tell you, Steve, these guys have a heck of a ball club. You better have some left-hand pitching if you're going to beat them.
There's no doubt that they're very tough on right-handers, Harry, and also Mike Dunn has been on the disabled list since the season started. So imagine when they get him back, because Dunn was one of the mainstays of that rotation last year. Dunn was 13-6 in 23 starts. Pencil that out over the course of a normal 35-start year. You got yourself close to a 20-game winner, and he hasn't had a pitch to throw yet.
2-2 pitch. Bouncing foul down the third baseline. Eric O'Neill and Grandma Elizabeth Fryer from Hammond, Indiana are here. Hasn't been much to cheer about, except it is a beautiful day and delightful to be sitting out in the sunshine. Two-two pitch. Half swing, a roller, the throw, close, he got him. Nice play by Vance Law.
Looks like this ball was going foul, and Vance Law crossed over into foul territory, but the ball comes back into fair territory. Now here's Vance. The ball fools him, but he stays with it, makes a fine off-balance throw to first, and they just got him. That's good camera work, guys, and a fine play by Vance Law, who has sparkled defensively all year.
Muriel Quinn of Westchester celebrating her 19th birthday here today. 2 out, nobody on. Ryan Reynoso from Sun Valley, Iowa. Great Cub fan. And the Schlunts are here from Mishawaka, Indiana. Schlunt. A ground ball fair down the third baseline, and Sid Bream goes halfway down the second, changes his mind. Boy, that Bream, that's 2 out of 4 for him. And here's Reynolds, 4 out of 4 today, and a 3-run homer yesterday.
Between R.J. Reynolds and Andy Van Slyke, Bobby Bonilla and Barry Bonds, they have done a job on Cub pitching today.
Greetings to John Maston from Bert and Bubs and Mike and Patch and Jason, whoever they are. 1 ball, no strikes. Jeremy Rosenfeld of Naperville celebrating an 11th birthday at the ball game. Well, I guess when you're having a party, the score really makes no difference.
As long as it's a nice day, get to those concession stands. A lengthy affair this afternoon.
Swung and he missed. R.J. Reynolds hitting right-handed, 4 out of 4 today. He's batted in 3 runs. Now there's a case of not caring what the score is, just lying in the sun, napping away. He had a cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals got beat again by the Mets, 3-2. Outside, ball 3. Mike LaValliere hoping to bat next. They pounded out 15 hits. We'll play the Pirates next weekend in Pittsburgh. Here's a pitch fly, pop fly out of play. You know, this is the same Pittsburgh club that Rick Sutcliffe shut out 6-0. They won 4-0 yesterday, beating Maddox. Maddox didn't pitch badly at all. Fouled it off. 1 pitch really turned the ball game around from being a close contest. A 3-run homer by R.J. Reynolds. But the point of it is, last year and now this year, the Pirates pitchers seem to stop our hitters. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4, he walked him. And that saves a perfect day for R.J. Reynolds. 4 hits and a walk. You know, even today the score is 10-3. The Cubs had 3 hits and a walk and scored only 1 run in the first inning because there was a double play in between. They had the bases loaded, 1 out in the 4th, the bases loaded and 1 out in the second rather, bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th with Sandberg and Dawson coming up. Couldn't get a hit. And out of those 2 situations, they got only 1 run. That on a sacrifice fly by Sandberg in the second. LaValliere, the catcher, fouls it into the stand. Boy, oh boy, listen to this wind. The way it's pounding against this a little window we have here. And look at those flags. Line drive foul. LaValliere, an outstanding defensive catcher. Pretty good threat with the bat, too. Look at the flag. Well, it's an ill wind that doesn't blow somebody some good. It blew the Pirates a lot of good today. Line drive, base hit. Every pitch has been scored on. 11-3 ball game. The only pitcher that could have been out of it without being scored on.
That's a high fastball. Mike LaValliere, who hits very well with men in scoring position, drives home the 11th run. And for LaValliere, RBI number 7.
Was Mike Bilecki. He should have retired the side in order in the 5th. But an error brought up Bonilla, who then hit a 2-run homer. They later in the inning scored another run. 3 unearned runs. But every 1 of 4 pitches has been scored on. Here's Belliard. That evens the count. A ball and a strike. One pitch. There's a bouncing ball. And the throw bounces and everybody is safe. A run scored.
He's got a chance of being a base hit. Tough play by Sean Dunston. We'll have to wait for the ruling, but Rafael Belliard going down the line beat it rather easily as the throw pulled Leon Durham off the bag, and it is a base hit. Second hit for Belliard, a little squiver in the infield, and Belliard comes up with an RBI, and the parade continues. Tough day for the pitching staff, tough day for the whole ball club.
12-3 in favor of the Pirates. Here's Jeff Robinson now. Runners at first and second. Well, everything happened after 2 were out. Fouled it out of play into the stand. Jeff Robinson going for his first victory of the year. He already has 3 saves. Two strikes and nothing. Looks like they'll start off at the head of the batting order in the 8th. 0-2 the count. One and two. The Pirates scored 2 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, none in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. Ground ball up the middle. The throw to first base in time to retire the side. So 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. They go into the bottom of the 7th to score. Pittsburgh 12, the Cubs 3.
Let's make some noise. Let me hear you. On 1, on 2, on 3. Take me out. Take me out to the clouds. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. I don't care if I never get back going through. I'll root for the Cubs. If they
Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. Boy, oh boy. This, Bud, goes into the 7th inning. Here is Sandberg. Fastball strike. Jeff Robinson. Another case of how expertly Sid Thrift has worked from his job putting together a ball club. There's a line drive. Base hit. Now he's going to advance to second base on the air by Van Slyke.
Well, they might rule this ball a double as Sandberg drives it up the gap. If it is a double, it'll be a second of the year. Van Slyke sees his feet go out from under him.
No.
And there's not much he can do about it.
They have to give him a double on that. Here's Dawson. Boy, if you can get your hits when you wanted to. And either the second or the fourth inning, that could have been the makings of a big inning. Here's Dawson. 1 ball, no strikes. Is that Jim Gott down in the bullpen? Might be too early for him.
Oh, that looks like him.
He does. That is him. Base hit for Dawson. And Sandberg will score. Another double. So there's a 4th run for the Cubs.
And the 4th double of the year for Andre Dawson. So you never know what happens. You keep pecking away, and on a day with the wind blowing out like this, you never give up. That's going to be it for Andre Dawson, who's suffering from slight groin problem, and Darren Jackson coming in to pinch run for him. RBI number 5 for Dawson.
Darren Jackson running for Dawson. Here's Leon Durham. We're in the bottom of the 7th. A napkin's been floating around in front of home plate. They have to wait until it lands to resume play. A high pop fly out of play. 29,562 paid. 0-1 the count.
They're stretching Jeff Robinson out here. He's not used to going quite this long, so it could be that he's tiring.
Fouled again. Down the first base line. Hey, how much some scores? 0-2 the count. The scoreboard, they're having trouble with the ticker. We do have the outcome of the New York Cardinal game. And Montreal beat Philadelphia. That's a ground ball to Lean, easy out. And Jackson advances to third. (12-4).
Scores in the American League. Cleveland defeated Baltimore 4-1. Boston murdered Texas 15-2. And Toronto shut out Minnesota 2-0.
Oakland leads the White Sox 3-1 at the end of 1. Here's Jerry Mumphrey. 1 out of 3 so far. Strike is called. 1 strike and nothing, 1 man out, 7th inning, 12-4 Pirates.
Humphreys hit 3 balls right on the nose and only has 1 for 3 to show for it.
Swung at a bad ball that time, and it's 0-2. Fouled it off again. The skies have become cloudy, and it's a little darker. We've had the glorious sun up until now. 0-2 on Mumphrey. There's a drive in the right center. He drives in a run. Mumphrey with his second hit of the day. 2 out of 4. A run batted in. Darren Jackson across the plate. 12-5.
4 times in a row, Jerry Mumphrey has hit the ball right on the nose. A couple of RBIs, his first 2 of the year, and a fine play by Van Slyke, holding Mumphrey at first. And here comes Jim Leyland. Robinson tiring some here in the 7th.
Jim Gott, the hard-throwing right-hander who's become their ace out of the bullpen, will be brought in here. That's all for Jeff Robinson. He'll be the winner in this game if it ends this way. And Jim Gott given the opportunity to make the save. We'll be back in a moment.
Katharine Hepburn.
I want someone killed.
And Nick Nolte.
You're asking me to commit murder.
Together, they're deadly. They make their living through dying.
I think he might be dead.
Bless you.
It's murderous mischief that will take your breath away.
Would you mind calling me Mom?
Mom.
Katharine Hepburn and Nick Nolte. Grace Quigley. Monday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Well, Jim Gott was quite a story in himself, Steve.
He throws very hard. He's a big, strong man who came over from San Francisco. Didn't get much of a shot as a stopper over there, but when he came to Pittsburgh, boy, did he put together a year. He was 0-2, but that doesn't tell the tale. 13 saves for the Pirates last year and a brilliant 1.45 ERA in 25 appearances. He's come on this year for the 5th time now with a 3.0 ERA. He's got 1 save, 6 innings, 4 hits, a couple of earned runs, struck out 5. He's only walked 1. There you see Les Lancaster. The Cubs have pulled to within 7. Jeff Robinson tiring. He gave up 3 runs, and now they turn it over to king-size Jim Gott at 6'4", 225 pounds.
Gone out of Hollywood, California. And the first man he faces is Vance Law. The last chance for Vance to prolong his hitting streak. Fouls the first pitch back. Gott was originally drafted by the Cardinals and then was in turn was selected by Toronto. Acquired in a deal by San Francisco. There's a strike call. I think that's where the beginning of Gott as a pitcher began to develop with I think Roger Craig had something to do with it.
Well, Harry, he had some shoulder surgery in San Francisco. They didn't know how hard he'd be able to throw. He's been timed at upwards of 97 miles an hour.
Here's a pitch, foul back. Vance Law has hit safely in every game played this year with the exception of this one. He's 0 for 3.
It's really one of the miracles of modern-day surgery. A pitcher used to have his arm operated, especially his shoulder, if they went in there and did massive repairs. That used to be it for him, and that's not the case now. And Jim Gott is living proof, along with Rick Russell and a few others. They've had a lot of surgery on that shoulder, and they've come back to excel. Walk, it looks like.
Drive and a base hit into center field. And it's runners on at first and second. He was going to call a ball, but the batter hit the pitch, and that's a base hit.
And you're right about that, Harry. So the Cubs, instead of having a man at second and Vance Law up, now you can see it. The pitch remains alive, and Vance Law drives it into right center.
That's the option. You can take what happens on the pitch if it's a hit. And so now, as a result, Vance Law has an 11-game hitting streak. He's hit in every game played this year by the Cubs. Now here's Dunston. Runners at first and second. Well, let's see, a long one would make it 12-8. Here's Dunston. Triple last time. Good fastball. 1 strike and nothing. Milwaukee leading the Yankees 5-1 in the 9th. Ground ball. Fumble for a moment by Bonilla, but he still recovers in time to step on the bag for the force play.
Fortunately for Bobby Bonilla, while he was bobbling this ball, he was right around third base. Knocks it down, tries to pick it up, now tries to pick it up again. And all he has to do is step on third. And Jerry doesn't know quite what to do here.
Here now is Sandberg. 2 out. Curveball inside. As a play in the 4th inning, Steve, with the bases loaded after Sandberg has struck out, and Andre Dawson hit between 3rd and short. It looked like it was going to be a base hit. Belliard made a great play. Here's a tap right back to Gott. That'll end the inning. And 2 runs for the Cubs. They had 4 hits, no errors, 2 men left. And at the end of 7th, Pirates lead 12-5. Harry Caray and Steve Stone, we go in the 8th inning. That play I was talking about, I was on radio, and I wonder what it looked like here. The ball looked like it was going to be a base hit, and Belliard made a fine play, and he was on the grass behind the 3rd baseman, and he made the force out at second base. I was amazed with Martinez's speed that they'd get him.
It was a fine play by Belliard. He made a very good throw to Lean, and they just nipped him at second. But it did look like he was out.
Here now, top of the 8th, Barry Bonds fouls it off, out of play. Bonds now has had 16 hits this year. 7 of the 16. Wait a minute. 7, 8, and 4. 12 of the 16 hits have been for extra bases. How about that for a leadoff man? 12 out of 16 for extra bases.
Can't play much hit and run, can you?
No. And he's very fast, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes as he fouls it off. It looked like he was on his heels on that pitch.
Well, a tough day so far for the Cubs, who have yet to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and they've seen a less muscular Pirate team hit 4 out, a number of doubles. But there's still a couple of innings left.
Yeah, but that makes a comparison one of the pitching worth. Here's Barry Bonds. Boy, his dad was a heck of a ball player. Barry hits left-handed, his dad hit right-handed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still alive.
They both have one thing in common, and that is they both swing very lively bats. There's some guys who seem to swing hard, the ball doesn't go very far. But both Bobby and now Barry can hit the ball a long way.
Barry hit 25 homers last year. There's a drive again in the left center. Another extra base hit. And he's on his way to second base. Barry Bonds doubles to left center.
6th, the double of the year. And he just goes right with his slider. He had seen a few of them from DePino. He drives this ball up the gap. So Bonds lacking a single to hit for the cycle today. Double, triple, and a homer.
13 of his 17 hits have been for extra bases. Here's leaned. There's a ground ball. Sandberg will field it and throw him out. But he got the man over to third base. Barry Bonds needs a single to run the scale. He may not come up again. Andy Van Slyke, 2 homers and a single. Infield in. High pop fly. Sandberg may have a play. He does. 2 out. And here's Bobby Bonilla. He's got 3 hits today, a single, a double, and a homer.
Joe Altobelli and Don Zimmer commiserating about a very long and frustrating afternoon at Wrigley Field. And Jim Leyland.
Fouled it out of play.
Very much underrated skipper of the Pittsburgh Pirates. When they talk about the real good managers in the National League, you don't hear his name brought up. Buck Rogers starting to get a whole lot of play in Montreal, but Jim Leyland is coming on. He's a good one, and his players certainly respect him.
There's a pitch outside. Chris Jones celebrating his 15th birthday here today. Sherry Humphreys from Richmond, Virginia, watching the game. Mary Rose Manicia from New Orleans is here. Chuck House from Dubuque, Iowa, celebrating a birthday. Fouled it out of play. They're here from DJ Sports in Westmont. And a birthday greeting to Ruth Zernecki. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bonilla. You know, I think Sid Thrift really proves his front office ability by the way he judges players. There's a drive in the center field, going to be caught, and it is. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Bottom of the 8th. And it's 12-5 Pittsburgh. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. Bobby Bonds has now hit safely. Of his last 12 hits have all been for extra bases. He's had 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs. All extra bases. Palmeiro leading it off.
Manny Trio in the on-deck circle. Palmeiro drove in a run in the 6th inning as a pinch hitter, and he stayed in the ball game. Has moved from center to right field.
That evens a count, a ball and a strike. The Cubs missed by a little better than 400 of drawing the 3rd straight 30,000 plus crowd. They had 29,562 here. 1-2. There's a drive in the right field, way back. It might be. It is a home run. on the Sheffield Avenue. And Palermo hits his first home run of the year. And the Cubs now trail 12-6.
Fifth RBI of the year for Rafael Palmeiro. His first home run, and he drove that way back against Jim Gott. Not an easy man to take out of the ballpark, but take him out he did. That was the first home run this year given up by Gott. And that cuts the lead as Manny Trillo steps in. A very happy dugout right there.
Palmeiro has driven in 2 runs. Total of 5 for the year now. Here's Manny Trillo. Fastball low. Well, I said 6 homers. We have 5 now. We have 1. They have 4. I need another one, Manny. He swings.
It's a breaking ball down, and the Chicago Tribune round tripper replay shows that home run went about 390 feet into right field.
And True Value Hardware happily donates another $100 to Cubs Care in the fight against cancer. 2 balls and the strike.
Looks like Les Lancaster throwing in the bullpen, so he'll come into this one.
I wonder how much longer to be before he starts.
Well, that's a possibility, Harry. Right now, great flexibility. He can do most anything.
There's a pitch fouled. The count is even. 2-2. Well, nobody out. 1 run in. It's 12-6. Manny Trillo. Jim Gott getting ready. Ball 3. What we need is a base on balls or 2, a hit or 2, and then the long one.
Anytime the wind's blowing like this, Harry, anything can happen.
Fouled it back.
Becomes a very small ballpark.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Hall in relief of Schiraldi allowed 2 runs. Belecki in relief of Hall allowed 3 runs. DePino has allowed 4 runs. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out, and he knew it. A good fastball. 1 out. Here's Sandberg. He's batted in a run. He has 1 out of 3. There's a strike call. There's a drive. It might be, and it is. On to Waveland Avenue. 12-7 now. Sandberg hits his 3rd home run of the year. And True Value happily donates again another $100 to Cubs Care in the battle against cancer.
No doubt about this one as Ray Miller comes out to talk with Jim Gott. This is a rocket. The 6th home run of the day. 2 by the Cubs. It's a low fastball inside. And the Chicago Tribune round tripper replay shows that home run went about 400 feet to left center field.
There's Rhino. And next to his left is Angel Salazar, the only player who hasn't appeared in the game for the Cubs. Utility infielder.
Now it looks like the Goose is up and throwing in the bullpen.
Here is Darren Jackson batting for the first time. Jackson has had 1 out of 3.
And there's the Goose.
He had a cut. 0-2 the count. Rhino knew that ball was gone as soon as he hit it. 0-2. A little bit high, just missed the strike zone. 1-2. The skies are dark. Come on, son, come on back out.
It's supposed to come out Tuesday.
The pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, belly arc. Little guy's got a great arm. That's 2 gone. And here's Durham 0 for 3. There are the light towers atop the grandstand roof that are building on both sides, the first base side and the third base side. The pitch. That'll end this inning. To lean. So, 2 runs, 2 hits. No errors, nobody left. At the end of 8, the Pirates lead 12-7.
April 5th, 1948, WGN television goes on the air.
I still have a dream today. I think it was the 4th of July. The whole world is watching Chicago tonight. The Super Bowl. The Cubs win.
A lot has happened since 1948, and we've watched it all together for 40 years, WGN and Chicago.
Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field, where the skies have gotten very dark indeed. And Les Lancaster comes in to pitch for the Cubs.
He's been the busiest man on the staff, making his 6th appearance. 0-1, 1.23 ERA.
There's a pitch, a strike call.
He becomes the 5th pitcher of the day for the Cubs.
You know, in all fairness, 5 runs were scored off the Cubs starter. Schiraldi bunt. That leaves a total of 7 made off the relief pitching. Quite often the starter will get knocked out. It's up to the relief to hold him for a little while. Today that hasn't been true. The Cubs have made 7 runs. There's a ground ball to Law. He's got it. And throws Bream out. Juggled around a little bit, but follow with a perfect throw.
Big smile on the face of Van Slyke.
One man out. Well, what did I guess? 6 home runs. You owe me $25.
Not necessarily. There's an inning left. I guess 7.
Now the pitch. Reynolds. Boy, he's been an effective hitter. His 3-run homer paced away yesterday for the Pirates, and he's 4 out of 4 today. There's a foul drive into the right field corner. He's been on base 5 times in a row. 2 doubles, 2 singles, 3 runs batted in.
He's been a big man yesterday and today for Pittsburgh. Did not play in the opening game of the series.
He didn't have a homer or an RBI before coming to Chicago. Now he's got a homer and 6 RBI. Whoa. Ducked out of the way. 2 balls and a strike.
I think Les might have been telling him that he didn't care for him stepping out while he was in his motion. Just a subtle reminder to hitters that there is some sort of etiquette that pitchers like you to uphold up there.
1 out, nobody on. Lancaster's pitch. 25-year-old right-hander from Irving, Texas. 1 out, nobody on. That makes the count full, 3-2. Ground ball right to Durham. Easy out. 2 gone. That's the first time they've retired Reynolds.
And if he can retire this man, it'll be the first time the Pirates have gone down 1-2-3 today.
That is true.
So only little Spanky Lavalier stands in the way.
Curveball low and outside. Hey, I think this wind's going to blow these windows out. There's the strike call. 1-1.
See, now you know how the 3 little pigs felt with the wolf at the door, huffing and puffing.
Of course I do. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men out.
This is as windy a day consistently as I've seen it here, and it has been blowing straight out all day long.
I didn't know you're such a literate man.
Oh, certainly.
Read about the 3 words. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 9th. There's a pitch low. You know, the Pirates won 7 out of 9 here at Wrigley Field, 7 out of 9 at Three Rivers Stadium last year. There's a smash, 1 hopper right at Ryne Sandberg, and he throws him out. That's the first time in the game the Pirates have been retired in order. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Cubs need 5 to tie, 6 to win. Harry Caray and Steve Stone. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Mumphrey 2 out of 4 with a run batted in. Jim Gott going for his first save. Strike call. Boy, most of the fans have left. There might be about 5,000 fans on hand as the skies have darkened considerably. There's a fastball, high, 1-1.
Pittsburgh bullpen up just in case Jim Gott needs some relief help.
The pitch. Good fastball. That evens up, 2-2. Van Slyke, who ran his streak to 11 in a row, is next. Two pitch. Whoa! He fouled it off, almost hit Law right in the face. He hit the deck, and he's smiling.
Boy, I'm happy that he can still smile. That was a rocket. That just missed Van Slyke. And I hope that everybody's okay behind him.
There's some kids and a lady and a gentleman. He hit some man on the hand. Just missed Van Slyke in the on-deck circle. And Mumphrey strikes out. Gott came in the ball game with 1 out in the 7th. So he's going for 2 2/3 innings of relief and a save. The pitch a little bit inside. That's right, he can't qualify for a save. He didn't pitch the 3 innings. When you lead by more than 3 runs, you have to pitch at least 3 innings, ending the ball game. Since there was 1 out in the 7th, he won't qualify. Jeff Robinson is the pitcher of record. It'll be his first victory of the season. And Schiraldi will suffer the loss. 1-1 pitch. Fouled it out of play again. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN Television, Channel 9 in Chicago.
Here's Van Slyke.
With the raindrops starting to fall.
Fouled it again. Started to swing, trying to stop. Fouled the pitch off. Boy, they pounded out 18 hits. Not until the 9th were they retired in order. There's Jim Gott. He struck him out. And that's his 3rd strikeout for Gott. He's allowed 3 hits. 2 of them homers by Palmeiro and Sandberg. Here's Dunston. He's had 1 out of 3. Each team with an error today. Swung and he missed. I would imagine it's a little tough to see right now. It's very, very dark. Some raindrops falling. This ball game is within about 15 minutes of being 4 hours long. Strike call. And Gott is just getting into high gear. He's trying to strike out the side. 1-2. A little tap. And the Pirates win it and win the series 2 out of 3. As Dunston is thrown out by Gott on a tap to the mound. And so, winning yesterday 4-0, they won today 12-7, out-slugging the Cubs 4 homers to 2. We'll be back with the totals now in a moment. The Budweiser play of the game had happened in the 7th inning. It extended Van Slyke's hitting streak to 11 in a row as he got a base hit on a pitch on which a balk was going to be called. He took the liberty of the option, which means that he took the hit rather than the balk. That's the Budweiser game play of the game. And this is a ball game we did some hitting earlier. We could have won like they went on to win. But I'm impressed by this Pittsburgh ball club.
Well, you have to be, because they've got some good young pitching. They showed the Cubs that they've got some good hitting. 18 hits today by the Pirates, the most they've gotten since back in August of 1986. They just pounded the ball all around the lot, Harry, and hopefully there'll be better times ahead when Montreal comes in.
Well, listen, have a nice trip to Des Moines, Steve. I'll see you Tuesday.
Well, thank you. You know, I got to go there and scout, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, here are the totals now. For the victorious Pittsburgh Pirates, 12 runs, 18 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher, Jeff Robinson, he's now 1-1 and lost none. The game-winning RBI belongs to Bobby Bonilla. It was his first of the year. For the Chicago Cubs, 7 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. The starting pitcher, Calvin Schiraldi, was the loser. He now is 1-0 and lost 2. He gave up 5 runs. The relief gave up 7. That's the kind of a day it was. The Cubs only got 2 homers with the wind blowing out 30 miles an hour, and the Pittsburgh Pirates had 4 of them. So the final score, the Pirates 12 and the Cubs 7. These same 2 teams will meet in Pittsburgh next weekend, hopefully with better results. Now the Cubs have tomorrow off, and we open the 3-game series with Montreal here Tuesday, and there are plenty of good choice seats available. Now speaking for Steve Stone, this is Harry Caray from Wrigley Field, wishing you all a very pleasant good afternoon or good evening, as the case might be, repeating the final score. Pittsburgh 12 and the Cubs 7. So long, everybody. Our next televised game on Channel 9 will be between the Chicago Cubs and the Montreal Expos, Tuesday afternoon. Our telecast will begin with the leadoff man at 1 o'clock. Our executive producer director has been Arnie Harris. Our assistant director, Joe Corneo. And the final score, the Pirates 12 and the Cubs 7. So long, everybody.